Welcome everybody to episode 12 of Edge of Twilight, The Stars Between. Who would like to do the recap?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see. Last time on Edge of Twilight, we were in the middle of a fight with the, kind of sort of abandoned by the Emperor, soldier. And he went down surprisingly easily. I honestly was a little bit more worried than I should have been, but it was fine. No problems. We got through the doors to get to the survivors, and Patricia kind of had a little moment there with Soma, which I think was rather helpful in at least showing that we weren't there for nefarious purposes entirely. We convinced him to come back and offered to give him a ride. Soma wanted to go back to Arist, but now we might be changing that plan because Arist is kind of in a state of unrest. We still probably ought to talk that over a little bit more, but for now, we've taken what we could from the ship before it blew up, and we're just back on the Harpy, getting all settled in.
A+.
A+.
I also agree it was a straightforward fight.
You know, I think...
Suspicious stare at Arcadum.
Oh, goodness. No, I was genuinely concerned. It was just, we did it really, really well because we're good at single combat.
Yeah, well, you know...
I'm just sad that there wasn't one grub. I'm so sorry.
we have
On the ship.
From what I know,
on the ship.
Yeah,
oh,
where is
in the fight.
From where I know the grub is here.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, yeah,
It's okay. We don't know where. Did we ever do the Chala scene yet? Or no? No.
I think that's later.
Maybe.
I have
Spoilers.
I have something planned for Chala.
Okay. I'm gonna focus on Infector Grub. You better not infect my fucking ship.
Yeah.
Staring at it through the walls.
Hey, Soma.
Thank you, Necro.
Hey, Soma.
Inside Soma will look at you expectingly.
Look. We got a few things from that ship, right? And we've just finished cataloging them. I could use your help, maybe with a couple of these.
Such as?
I got a few of these decks, and could use some help just plugging them into my back so I can understand what they do.
Of course.
And what do you want me to roll for this?
You don't have to roll.
Okay.
You just have to experience them. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's just work the way down the list. We got... Hold on, I'm pulling up the notes. We got the Astral Litanies.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with that one.
I read that as Latinos.
Latino? Astral Latinos?
Oh my god.
Alright, so... my voice is stabilized a little bit. So here's what's going on. You have a number of slots in your back, which represent the deck slots, and some of them are more powerful than others, so they take up more slots. Your deck slot number is 3 plus your proficiency modifier, so it's 6. The first one, the Astral Litanies, and when you plug them in, you hear a strange rhythmic chanting in the language of Rexus, praising the Rexus Emperor, reminding one of one's holy duty and kind of on repeat like that. These litanies activate the devices underneath your skin in the greater sense of the Lesser Valkyrie. Whilst they are active, you gain access to your Valkyrie skills, but you also have a detriment. And they are as follows. I'm just going to type them out because my voice is not going to last.
That's fine.
I'll just go through each of them.
That's fine. If anybody else has any RP to do, we can just let Arcadum typey do.
Sure.
Sure.
You guys want to do our table scene?
Table.
There's a table
then-
scene.
I
And
would
then
do a table.
Arcadum, I can just read out what you type, so
Yeah.
that way chat knows.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Table scene.
Okay. Sera will put her 2 plants right next to each other. And she'll look shyly towards Irha and Luka. And then she'll also take out her, hang on, let me get the full name. Astral Marine Corpse Head. And set that right next to both of those. And she'll look at it almost lovingly. And she'll look back to Luka and Irha and wait for them to comment on her collection.
Luka will look at her very interesting collection of plants and astral marine head and will actually be more astonished at the 2 plants. Oh, you managed to cultivate them. And he goes to grab for them just to look at them further. I would ask their state, but I don't want to mess up your voice some more, Arcadum, so
What's
I
up?
assume that they're in good condition.
What's the question?
Oh, I just wanted to know if the plants were in good condition.
They're fine.
Luka is looking at. Okay. And he's just marveling at them. Oh, these are really nice. Where do you think we can put them? Probably somewhere with the most sun. But he looks out the window and sees no sun, just darkness.
Irha is kind of marveling at these 2 plants and trying his best to kind of just ignore the astral marine head. He thinks it's kind of sanitary, it's on the table, but he's not going to comment otherwise. Thinking Luka is correct, there is no sun in this ship. You know, I think you're correct there. We don't have a sun here. When you guys were over there, did they have any sort of, like, I don't know, we've been around weird things quite a bit, like artificial lighting anywhere, perhaps?
Well, I can make light if
Well, they don't, like, plants, they don't, like, you know, they need, like, sunlight, right? Like, the sun gives something special to plants? I don't know. I mean, every time I see a plant inside with a candle, they don't grow. The sun gives something to the plant.
It should be fine. I had the daylight spell. If that's equivalent, that might work.
Well, it might work. I mean, possibly. If you do it every certain time of the day.
It only lasts for an hour.
Oh, well, that should be fine then. I mean, they don't need, like, a full 8 hours of, like, sunlight, right? And he looks over to Sera, trying to ask for help, because they're not very good at this.
Sera's also looking at the table of I've never taken care of plants before, but I'd like to try.
Irha just kind of taps his finger on the table. Well, when I was I guess fletchling, we had a small farm, so I have a little bit of an idea how to take care of plants, but otherwise all my duty was just picking up the carrots and whatnot. Well, we need to put it in a spot where no one's going to touch them. And I guess he kind of just looks over to Luka and hoping that he will take over the rest.
Luka nods. I did take care of some medicinal plants during my time back in Calcadesh, so I believe I may have some knowledge, but these are entirely different plants, so trial by error? And he just kind of shrugs at Irha.
Irha also goes a very big shrug, and he looks around the incredibly open space they have.
Would it be a nature or survival check to see if I don't know if would they be able to take care of these plants or like the care needed for these plants?
You can take augmentations to the ship in order to make a terrarium. You could do that by requesting your angel to do it and providing the necessary physical resources.
Oh.
The ship can be augmented in that manner.
Lovely.
Cyril will straighten up a little bit, and some of the devil will peek through a little bit. Well, I thought perhaps we could ask the Taladonic ship if it could help us take care of these. They're from different planets, and, well, where I come from tends to be seafaring, so it makes sense if there's a way to take care of the things found on other planets. She'll look back over a little tentative. Right?
We do have an orb.
Irha will nod. I think you're correct. We should probably ask Effie. I'm sure she can figure out how to dillywag with the ship to give us a cool tank for these things. Or some will say like a terrarium. Well, I mean, will the angel understand us? They has a certain way of speaking, I don't know if you noticed. It's kind of flamboyant in a way.
Cyril will also look down
that will stop our ability to communicate with it.
That old Moto, who she met reading the gardening section in the Ardent Amphitheater. Moto, do you have any insight on how to care for a werewolf cacti? And she'll frown a little bit. Whale snot?
Yeah. I'll just do it.
She'll tap her fingers on the table. What do you need?
Well, the snot's got to be put in a wet place, dark. That's not hard here. And the other guy, Spike, needs very little water but constant light. So we'll have to make some kind of lamp to keep him healthy.
Cyril brighten back up. Is this something you and Madonna would like to do?
Didn't you want to do it?
She'll look a little abashed. I'd like to do it together.
All right.
She'll beam over at Luka and Irha.
Irha is just giving little small claps. He's very proud of this wizard.
Luka's smiling big because he doesn't say it, but he's like very excited. It's very clear on his face that he's excited to do this. So, one place that's very damp and dark and wet. Hopefully not the bathrooms, but that's one place.
Well, I mean, we could transform a bathroom into a tank. I think we have extra rooms. I think.
Oh, we could make it into our terrarium.
Oh yes, we could make it into our terrarium. And I mean, we have couches for our guests to sleep on. They don't need a bed. We can always make pallets or something.
We also have a floor. We have a lot of floor.
Oh, we have tons of floor. And he's going to point to all the floor.
Sera nods at she absolutely agrees. Yes, the plants are more important than the visitors.
I mean,
Agreed.
listen. We never said we were good hosts. We're just hosts. And I don't know about
Sera
you.
smiles so hard that her canines are a little bit longer than usual.
Besides, Flora could be more than they could ever ask for. And he grins.
Well, we could make them really comfy on the floor.
They just put a couple blankets there. They'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Well, maybe more than a couple. We don't want them to be cold.
Okay, which bathroom?
Sera will stand
he's
up
looking at which.
and she'll follow Luka. You pick.
Well, which way is your room?
She'll point straight across. I tend to sleep over there next to Maelie. She likes
Looks
to...
at Irha.
She'll look down at her clasped hands that are in front of her 'cause she's still a little bit shy. I think
Luka
Maelie likes to
will-
keep an eye on me.
Luka.
Not Luka. Sorry, I'm so tired. I was looking at your name when I said that. I was gonna look to Luka very confused. What?
Do you think you're fine with walking a couple more paces to the bathroom?
What do you mean?
How about our bathroom? On our side.
I mean, I'm fine with our bathroom. On our
Excellent.
side.
And then he starts running over, grabbing Sera by the hand, as she does to him all the time.
She'll slither after him.
Ira's going to fast walk, and all you hear from under the his boots is just click 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 click. click.
But opens the bathroom, and I assume we get to work with transforming the bathroom into a terrarium, but wait, we need to talk to the angel. We can't just walk in here and do it. And he just goes back to his room. Oh god, which one was his room?
I think you were this one.
Yes, I was this one. And he touches the orb.
Ira is fully imagining what this bathroom can look like, and fully perhaps the left side is the more optimal, as we only need one part of the bathroom.
Sera will get to work hollowing out the head. She just does this right here on the door frame, hollowing out the Marine Corps head.
Oh my god. In his bedroom?
Just right here at the door frame.
Oh, okay. In front of his door? I'm just kidding.
Just pieces of brains squishing out.
It dawns on Luka that he realizes he doesn't know the new designation of the angel. Sera, do you know the name of the new, or the reassignment of the angel? I feel like the name has changed many times.
She'll look up from her brain smashing. She'll slap the button on the orb. Tits McGee.
All right.
A light will turn on. Awaiting orders.
It's McGee. We would like to transform the bathroom to our south into terrarium for the plants that we have acquired. Is that possible?
Affirmative.
How much time would that take, or what tools can we use?
4 cycles.
Oh god, what was 4 cycles again?
That's 4 days.
Oh, 4 days. Okay, 4 cycles, 4 days. Excellent. And I assume we should not occupy the space while that is being done.
It is recommended.
He nods. Thank you, Tits Biggie. If it's possible to get that done as soon as possible, it will be much appreciated. Hey, Irha! He starts yelling.
God, 1 second. Like, beer back real fast.
Sera's ears
don't
folded on
want-
themselves at the yelling.
Irha!
I'm here. Sorry.
Alright, get out of there.
She'll follow, leaving a trail of brains.
Ew! Alright, you don't want to be in there. It'll be done in 4 days. In the meantime, we just need to try our best to take care of these plants before it's done.
I mean, that should be easy enough. We can always just put them in a extra bedroom. Or in one of our bedrooms?
But what is going to be extra damp for the knot?
We put it inside of a toilet.
Oh, we could put it in your bathroom. Looks at Sera.
Sera will look
Pretty
down.
damp.
Well, I tend to keep my room pretty cold. But I suppose we could put it in the bathroom.
All right, done. Excellent. And he just does like a small clap. And the other one, well,
It's a cactus. I don't think it really requires too much. I think from what my knowledge of cactuses are, we simply just let it be and we water it every once in a while, and we just don't touch it.
yes, but it needs sunlight.
No, cactuses, yeah. Your daylight spell should work.
Sera will look at both of them, who are entities who embrace radiance,
Yeah.
and she'll shyly ask, "Would either of you take care of Spike
I can take care of
for the
Spike,
4
it's
days?"
fine. I'll have him right beside me. And where'd you come up with the name Spike?
It was Maelie's idea. I was rather fond of it.
Well, it's a very good name.
Mm-hmm. Not?
She'll look down
It
as
did very well.
she's scooping out the eyeballs now in the skull, and she'll look up at both of them through her eyelashes.
Irha, the blink blink.
Do you two think I'm a monster?
Irha's gonna pause at that question as he is watching this wizard scoop out eyeballs.
Luka fails his constitution saving throw, watching her pull out the eyeballs and runs into the bathroom to hurl his guts out.
Irha stands stoic because he's not a pussy ass bitch. Just
For context, this lady has been pulling out brains and guts right in front of him, and he's supposed to sit there and take it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm playing. By the way, he's not. I'm playing. That was a joke.
No, it's fine. It's fine. After
Irha's
a couple of coughs and a flush, Luka emerges.
He's going
She'll look
to
very sad that she asked that question and Luka just ran away from her.
Irha's gonna pull out a handkerchief from underneath his robes and hand it over to Luka, and he's gonna look to Sera. No. Although I think you are a demon, or something of the sort, and well, that's just what you are. Granted, you are scooping eyeballs out of a skull right now, while looking at me like you're a lost child. But no, you're just a little unique.
She realizes how appalling that could be, and she'll hide it behind her back. Oh, I thought it would make a very good pot.
Well, it can make a very good pot if you fix the skull up a little bit. And Irha, he kind of digs more into her pot idea. You know, you just have to make sure you clean out the skull and whatnot, so you don't leave any flesh to rot. We don't want any stinky heads in here. I'm just saying. He doesn't want to touch it, but he circles around it. Just make sure you get all the fleshy bits and you leave it or something to degrade. Don't let it just sit out in the open.
She'll perk up a little bit and look at both of them with one of her shark tooth smiles. I very much wanted to grow something out of the skull of our enemies. Don't you think that would be, wow, rather devilish?
Oh, well, yeah, you know, sir, I've never been a paladin to hate devils or demons, whatever that is. And I like your idea of growing plants out of skulls of our enemies. Perhaps this could be our little trophy, and our victory cry is your head is going to be in a plant.
Sera nods vigorously at it being a trophy.
Because you're right, I think we should collect heads and make them into pots, because that's very resourceful, and we're not very high on resources. Well, plants
She'll move closer
resources.
to Irha. She'll lean into his approving space.
Ira's going to lean back.
Leave
Sera
that.
just reeks of internal organs.
He is going to slowly move a hand up to his nose and cover it. Sera. I'm not trying to be rude here, but you smell like utter dog shit. Please take a shower.
Oh. She'll press the digitation. Everything away.
Ira is also going to roll a Constitution saving throw because perhaps this is too much for him.
Luka wipes his mouth from any leftover vomit that lingered.
He does not vomit, but he definitely vomits in his throat a little bit. Like, his throat, meaning it doesn't make it all the way up to the mouth, but it's definitely there.
All right.
I don't find you a monster, Sera. I see you for who you are. And so far you've proved to be more than that. So you're okay in my book.
Thank you. I'll
And also, I agree with using the heads as trophies as potted plants. I think that's a pretty good idea. Might scare away people who might mean us harm.
we could mount it on the ship. She looks delighted.
Oh.
She'll jump a little bit. I'll go
Like a
finish at
siren.
the table.
Okay, like, player moment? Because we know the grub's over there. What if we get the grub as a little guard dog for the
You
garden?
don't know that he's there.
We
That
don't
would
know
be
he's there yet.
Yeah, well, I see him over there, but idea.
Oh god, I'm moving too much.
All right.
But then Luka will pat Irha on the shoulder and then head to his room for a hot minute.
Meanwhile,
All right.
back at the bridge. All right.
Also,
They're all ready for you, Effie.
All right, you want me to read them for
Sure.
chat?
Sure.
Okay. So the first one, and these are all decks that go into Effie's back door slots. So the first one is Astral Litanies. This takes 3 slots. Holy Chant, Feel Your Mind, granting access to the Emperor's Blessing, grants access to Valkyrie abilities. Lesser status gives access to 2 of them. The first one is By His Presence. The character produces a powerful aura that shines like an ethereal light. All allies within 60 feet have advantage against fear saves and death saving throws. The character cannot be hidden in any way when this effect is active. The second one is By His Might. This character deals an additional damage equal to their current faith. This damage is dealt as the same type of damage as the attack in question, and the current status of that is 3. The next one is Dragonfire. It takes 2 slots. Your mind is filled with the roars of dragons and their fury. Weapons wielded by you deal 1d6 fire damage in addition to their other damage types. Once per round, as a bonus action, the character may perform a breath weapon attack following the fire-based dragon's breath spell. The next one is the Gloria Protocol. This takes 2 slots. Litanies of Glory of Humanity fill your mind. This deck provides constant heroism effect while this deck is attached. The last one is Lesser Engineer. This takes 1 slot. Images of schematics flash before your eyes. This deck provides access to any blueprints previously stored and may store such blueprints for future use. This deck also provides advantage on checks made to operate, produce, or design constructive equipment of a digital nature.
If you have any questions, go ahead.
The Faith, under By His Might, this character deals an additional damage equal to their current faith. What kind of faith is that?
So faith is utilized as a resource in Verum. That is relative to your faith in Sequelcus, which on the parameter is a value of 3, due to your your actual service to him. Hold on. It is determined by service. It is determined by piety. It's determined by class and other such things like that. You've attained 3 because of your piety, and because you're actually a religious class. A lesser religious class, but still a religious class, which is Gregorian Rogue.
Okay.
As your faith in Succubus, or if you change gods or whatever, increases, so does that number.
Alrighty. Then I guess my next question is kind of based on what you were saying earlier about the chants in Rexen or Halos, whatever language that is.
It's Rexen, yeah.
Rexen. Can Effie now understand Rexen?
Can't read the language quite yet, but the litanies carry the Emperor's truth, which grants a supernal understanding to those that hear it. It's how the language was designed by the Emperor. So, for intents and purposes, anything that would deal with your inner schematics and your inner systems, you'll understand their meaning, even if you don't understand what the words say. If you know what I mean.
Okay. But if somebody comes up and starts speaking it, no fucking clue.
No. Although, it's going to be far easier for you to learn the language due to your nature, so.
Okay. And so I have a total of 6 slots that I can do things with.
Yeah.
The one that I got previously to this didn't have a slot allocation. It was the shield, which is roll the convalescence kit, which is blah, blah, blah. Take the roll amount as a reaction. You can reduce the damage taken by that amount. This is once per long rest.
That's 1.
Okay.
You didn't have multiple slots at that time, so there was no point in giving the list of it.
Sure. Okay. I'm just making edits to my notes. Okay, I don't think I have any other questions. Probably one for later, but not right now. Oh, yes. One important question. Where it says the character cannot be hidden in any way while this effect is active.
Yeah.
That's including, like, blink, right?
That's not hidden. Blink is you're not there. That's not the
Okay.
same. Basically, you can't stealth while you're present.
And is this like a round thing?
What do you mean?
Is this just like if this deck is attached, this is just all the time?
Yep.
Okay. And what kind of action or time does it take to swap decks?
Short rest.
Okay.
Because you have to uninstall and then install them.
Got it. So basically, if this one is installed until I take a short rest, like I'm just visible to everybody.
You cannot be hidden, correct.
Okay.
Is that the same for visibility?
Correct.
Okay.
You cannot be hidden in any way.
Okay.
What about mist form?
Well, you're not hidden.
I'm just misty.
Yeah, so the idea behind it is that I'll know where you are. I can attack you. But that doesn't mean that if you're misty, then you're mist, right? Then I have to have, like, weapons that can hurt incorporeal targets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just like, I'm a, scouter character, so I just want to make sure that I understand.
Maybe don't put in the come get some slot. Because Valkyries, in and of themselves, are not rogues. They are part of his holy retinue, so. Valkyries don't hide.
And is there, like, as she's kind of looking at the Astral Litanies one and she has that plugged in, does it give any sort of, like, within the chant itself, give any sort of guidance on how to actually, like, what path there is to become, like, the greater Valkyrie? Or an actual Valkyrie instead of lesser?
Well, researching the Rexus Federation and its various pathways, I mean, yeah. The way ahead on that particular route is you just have to serve the Emperor. Which,
Okay.
as your adventures go on, especially once you learn the language, there'll be threads you can pull to follow that route. Most notably, as you're a lesser Valkyrie, you're unfinished, right? So you need to find a way to finish the process, which you don't have the means to do so on this ship, so you're going to have to find somewhere to go. Most notably, you'll probably have to go to Halos for the most guaranteed access to it.
Mm-hmm.
It is unlikely you'll find it marooned somewhere in space. Not impossible, but...
Improbable.
Improbable, yeah.
Okay. Then I guess the next thing that Effie would want to do after, you know... Hey, Soma, thanks for helping me jack in.
Nodders.
Hey, Tits McGee. And she kind of ushers for Maelie to come over. So, upon the stuff that we gained from the Hulk vessel, the Ikonokoros, I got this. And she pulls out a Pokedex that is an index.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys remember what indexes are, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And she kind of looks at Maelie. This was a pretty good find.
Well, I'm glad we stayed to loot then.
Me too. Tits McGee, can you help? Like, can we just like plug this into you somehow?
God. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. I don't have the voice to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I get it.
So, an index is an angel, right? An index contains the physical copy of an angel. So what you have... Well, I mean, that's not all it is. It's more than that, but that's generally speaking what an index is, because a Karakoranos is the angel as well as the name of the ship. Both of those things are the same. So, what you have is an angel. If you plug it into this ship, that angel will manifest. And
so we can get 2 angels?
Well, the problem is that you can, but Tits McGee would become inactive because it is multiple tiers below the index you hold in your hand. Tits McGee is an index of a lesser vessel, and if you put a greater index in a lesser vessel's slot, that's something you can still do, but it's the equivalent of putting a really big dog in a small house. You know, it's not... It needs the space. So, it's up to
Can I
you.
jack into an index?
Yes. You can do that to communicate with the... entity inside. Sorry.
Okay.
I almost said machine spirit.
Machine spirit?
No, I mean, that's a thing.
All
but,
hail the God Emperor!
yeah, but then I'll get canceled by Warhammer, so...
We are Namos!
Hey, Tits McGee. So, I love you, and you're my best girlfriend. Maybe besides Sera and Maelie. Can I just constantly jack into you? Is that okay? I want you with me forever.
You do not have the capacity in your current rig to have an angel with you. For that...
Why not?
Well, because you just don't have the equipment. To do that, you need to have the appropriate equipment.
You have to become a greater Valkyrie.
Well, actually, yes.
You gotta get promoted, just like my character.
Oh,
Going after
God,
those
no.
promotions.
God.
Gotta go through the training.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Is this too much content for you?
We gotta go through the California mandated sexual harassment training.
Well,
Yes.
now I have the Sekelcues path, and now I have the Greater Angel path. You know, the Greater
Oh
Valkyrie path.
no! What's it
Oh,
like
wow.
having at least 3 different things demanding your time?
Voices.
I know.
Whatever will I do?
Hey, Maelie.
What's up, Effie?
You know, you and I have been traveling for quite a long time together.
Sure have.
I want your opinion.
Okay.
We have, and she kind of puts Tits McGee away.
Oh, okay. Bye.
We have a little bit of a conundrum.
All
You
right.
know, me and Tits McGee are thick as thieves, right?
Yep.
But we got a bigger index.
So we got. What did you take Hopelesses or something, or do we know who's inside?
We got the Iconochorus,
Okay. Nice.
which is, you know, the angel of that big vessel we just left. So it could probably do a shit ton more things and a lot more helpful than potentially Tits McGee might be.
Well, isn't that what we wanted? Because we've got that vat downstairs, and we've got all those plants that Seino and Sera and I brought back, you know?
Yeah, but like, I'm conflicted because Tits McGee is so cool.
Okay.
What should we do?
I mean, it's not like she's gonna die, right?
But she might know that I'm gonna unplug her.
Well, think of it like how I treat my unseen servant, right? I haven't brought Zeb out in about a year.
I don't remember who that is.
You've never met him. That's the thing.
No.
I haven't brought him out since waking up in this body. But I mean, even if he's a little sassy next time I summon him, I think he'll understand. You know, since you've got the chance, I would just explain it.
Okay. I see what you're putting down. Okay.
Maelie
Tits McGee.
nods.
No.
Hey, girlfriend. So, the long and short of it is, I love you, and you've been the bestest girl pal that I could ever ask for. But I might have to put you away for a little while.
It stands awaiting your orders. It does not have a cry.
Does it say anything in response?
Its response is, if that is what you wish, girlfriend.
Can I still jack into you every time to time? Check in?
It will nod.
While you're away, is it possible that you can research how we can be together forever?
Negative. If I
Any
am-
ideas on how we could do that now?
You must find a personal matrix that can hold my index.
Okay. I will do that, and then we will be together.
Tits
As
McGee
girl
will
pals.
Tits McGee will gesture towards the grayed out dialogue options.
She nods. All right, Tits McGee. I'll see you soon. And then she plugs in the new index.
No, you take the old one out first.
Yeah. Okay, I take the old one out and I stick it in my bosom and then plug the new one in.
See, I think that went mighty well.
I'm really sad, Maelie.
well, you'll see her again. It's something we'll work towards, right?
What if the new one is worse?
Well, if I may, I seem to remember McGee having a different personality when Sera and I first got the ship, you know, and then once you took the helm, she kind of changed personalities. I'd bet you that, knowing you, you'd find a way. But why don't you meet him first before you jump to conclusions?
To be a him, Maelie.
Well, them, her, I don't know, it.
Okay, let's meet this new Iconochorus.
Give me a second.
You don't have enough RAM.
Yeah.
It's like trying to play Counter-Strike when you had a Windows XP.
God.
We gotta buy more RAM. We have to download it.
When you play the MMOs on like 10 FPS.
Oh my gosh. I know what that's like.
I got a chorus spawns in and he moves in like 2 frames per second. Hello.
Hold on a second. Get some water in me.
It's a lock and high.
You don't have to push yourself. You can just say it.
You're getting your wishes, so sit down.
My wishes. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco.
Alright. As you plug in the index, a being will manifest. Another angel, powerful, hard light, will spread outwards from the command console, breaking past its borders, causing the entirety of the bridge to shudder. The power to fluctuate on the vessel in order to sustain the manifestation of Iconochorus. And you see this.
Damn.
Yo, he's sick.
She's really cool.
She? They?
Look at those
Very cool.
toes.
Yo, look at those grippers! Look at those grippers! Wait, it has human toes and then metal arms? Crazy.
As the creature manifests, designation unknown, receptacle unknown, vessel unknown, user unknown, identify.
Can she jack in?
Yeah.
Okay, she jacks in.
Alright, you plug yourself in, and the creature will look down at the port in which you've plugged yourself in. Updating designation. Scanning. Lesser Valkyrie. Name.
Effie?
Registering user. Effie. User registered.
I am the Giga Captain.
Commencing diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Scanning parameters. At this point, the whole ship starts to shake.
Gosh. Effie,
Sera will
What?
look up from her taxidermy.
is this actually good for the ship we're on?
Yeah, of course it
Looks
is.
around.
We're not gonna break apart in the middle of the sea like The original.
She kind of looks over to Soma. This is normal.
Soma will inform you that this vessel is not meant to maintain an angel of this caliber and strength.
Will you describe the shaking?
It's turbulent.
Ah. In that case, they will leave her piles of goo.
What did Soma want to finish?
Soma will finish by saying, such an angel takes quite a bit of energy and power in order to manifest. The systems of the ship are struggling in order to do so. You've also... I suppose you might say that the angel is suffering from trauma, as the last it was functional, its last memory, if you will, was itself breaking apart, all under attack.
Oh.
It is running diagnostics, no doubt, searching for its missing pieces.
She kind of plugs back in, or she's still plugged in, and she kind of... Does she type or just talk to it?
You can talk to it.
Okay. Iconochorus. Your previous vessel was torn asunder. We were able to recover you and put you on our ship called the Astral Harpy. You are at peace. You're among friends. We are going to take care of you. I understand that this vessel is probably not up to your standard, so we may have to put you away a little bit until we find one more suited to your magnitude.
Alright, make me a convalescence kit roll.
All right.
Let's roll in 2 weeks. Hey.
Your adulations seem to calm the angel somewhat. The creature will look at you as if for the first time and will speak. Diagnostics do not detect life support systems. It is this one's many duties of highest paramount to ensure the survival of the souls aboard itself. Inquiry, where are they?
She looks to figure out if they have any life support systems.
No. The angel is responding to the fact that where it was once awake, life support systems were failing across its ship. It's asking you where the survivors are of itself.
We took the last 12 survivors that we could, and I did not mean to do that. And they are now aboard the Astral Harpy.
Alright, you will see that the angel kind of lean backwards as you say these words. You will see many different parameter screens pull up in front of itself, a sort of augmented reality. You will see that it updates the total number of souls to 12.
What was it before?
15,000.
Hey.
Oof.
Oof.
Big oof.
And it will respond. Status, cataclysmic failure. Unfortunate.
I'm sorry.
We tried.
Designation, Effie? Explanations are needed for this one. Elucidate.
From what I understand, there was a problem with the Rexus Federation's use of the technology that the Taladani gave to it. During this, the colored mages were given from the Taladani to try and help with this issue. Unfortunately, it was beyond. The Voidka started corrupting those on board. And I believe some of the Eyeless were involved as well. Unfortunately, the Voidka ripped through the ship in multiple different ways, corrupting pretty much everybody on board besides the 12 survivors.
Affirmative.
We were able to get the SOS signal as we were traveling from Gregram on our way to Rampart. We decided to stop because our friend, or my friend Maelie over here,
Howdy.
is one of the colored mages, or studied with them, I believe. And we decided to follow the SOS signal and try and rescue those on board, even if it meant our detriment.
Description is matching of diagnostic readouts. This one is morose. It has failed in its duty. It has been defeated. Designation Effie has informed this one that survivors are on board this vessel of Astral Harpy. Are they well, vitals strong?
She kind of gestures over to Soma. Yes. Everybody was able to make it on their own free volition. And Ensign Soma here was the leader of the survivors.
Designation survivors logs. Scanning. Updating information. Update complete. Scanning vessel. Scanning vessel. Auger arrays. Disabled. Long-range communication impossible. Scanning. Astral Harpy in need of dire repairs.
We
That's
are.
all good.
So, this is something I can kind of tell you in a more of an insight sort of thing. You have a basic ship that hasn't been used, maintained, or, implemented in a long time. It's kind of like a computer that's 4 years old. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
ancient. It's kind of like
Need some updates.
Yeah.
It's
It's RAM.
Iconocoros is basically saying this ship is shit, and it needs to be fixed. But he does it in the robotic way, So he's
Yeah.
We have a
he's,
shit ship.
he's not sassy. He's just straightforward.
L plus ratio plus your ship needs updates.
Update the GPU.
An incredible level of mid.
Is there any way with the engineering deck that I could plug that in and plug into him and see the schematics of how to get those functional?
You don't have to do any of that. You can just ask him. You're connected to him.
We inherited this ship. Wasn't, actually, it was our only choice. Let's be honest here.
Yep.
And I could use some help trying to get those back online. How do?
Scanning brain matter. Scanning density. Adjusting parameters to maintain cranial integrity. Uploading schematic. Iconocoros will show you some designs and schematics that one could use in order to make this very mid ship into slightly less mid. It does not show you the bigger blueprints, as your head would explode, and that is not desirable.
With the we were able to harvest some stock, and I can't remember what it was called because I gave it pretty much all to Seino.
Who in turn gave it to Ayaza, I believe.
I don't remember. I think Seino took most of it and gave Ayaza the rest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can those be used to do this?
So, all right, I'm gonna go out of character a little bit here because I don't have much voice left. You can do all of this, but not without a shipyard. You can make changes inside of your vessel to rooms, but you can't change the chassis of your vessel without a shipyard. Like you need an actual place to rebuild it, build up on it. If you guys get what I mean. You can change...
So you got to dry dock in port.
Correct.
And then make all the changes.
You have to park the ship, and then it can be expanded.
Yeah.
You could change things inside to a certain degree, but to make a full upgrade like the Angel is suggesting, you would need to dock. And the only dock that you know of any kind is Arist.
Okay. Effie.
Yeah, Maelie?
Can you check and see if this angel is using any of our supplies at an exponential rate? Because we have a limited amount to get places.
That was going to be my next thing. Looking at level of usage.
Analyzing inquiry. Understanding achieved. This one has manifested at 50% of its strength. This one will reduce the system's needs and reduce itself in order to maintain fuel levels.
Would it be better for you if we just swap back to our other angel, or would you rather be out here with us?
Yo.
This one's choice. This one would prefer to remain manifested. This one does not wish to return to the cold dark.
All right, that's fair. Can you also give us an update on what's happening over at... So, long and short, our last angel was disconnected from the Nexus for quite a while.
Correct. This one has already analyzed this previous angel's records.
Can you let us know what's happening on Arest, or at least to the last of your knowledge?
This one's records were slightly more updated than previous angel. Arest is in a state of unrest. It is rumored that civil war rages across the starport. More importantly, it seems that the different docks have separated into separatist factions. It is unknown as to how deep the intrigue goes. This one has a few updates that it could provide. The level of danger is no longer nominal. It is risky. But considering the ship's state, it is a necessary one. Suggestion. You possess Rexus Federation call signs within your vessel and body. Recommendation. Change emblems to Rexus Federation. This will provide protection from the Emperor. So what the angel is suggesting is that right now you fly no colors, essentially. Mm-hmm. And because you fly no colors, that means you could be pirates, you could be privateers, you can be anything. You could be targeted. If you fly the colors of Rexus, then you'll have to deal with their enemies, but you also would gain the benefits of their allies and their presence. So it's up to you how you want to relegate that risk when you approach Arist.
Well, I can't remember. Was Arist specifically Rexan controlled?
No. So Arist is like neutral ground. It's its own thing. But part of that neutrality is that it's open to anyone. It's essentially the only major starport in this galactic sector. So everyone has to deal with Arist, right? If they want to be able to maintain any of their ships.
Got it. Okay.
Or at least it is the only one now since the fall of Maltos. But
those people that we met, the refugees who were from Arist, they didn't like the Taladani.
Yes, because they were of a rival faction.
Who are the enemies of the Rexus Federation?
Updating friend or foe registry. Alright, you will see that on the friend side, there are a few menial alliances, mostly for trade and research. There is one military alliance with the... Oh god, hold on, give me a second. I gotta go look at it again. with the Bilboken, denizens of Sarkstorm.
Bilbo Baggins?
Bilboken. And as for
Sorry.
enemies, you see a fucking lot.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Like I thought.
It seems the Emperor is not good at making friends. He's very good, however, at making soon-to-be subjects.
My God.
Well, Maelie,
Yeah.
if we appear to be already subjugated, that means that they won't try and subjugate us again.
I suppose.
But
Or it could imply other things, though, like if we fly his colors and we're not doing what he wants, it could cause other problems.
yeah, but like, you know, we're about to go kill a bunch of people on Rampart. We could subjugate those people.
Yeah, it's hard to subjugate dead people, Effie.
Yeah, but we'll just subjugate the non-poors, the other richers that are keeping people in starvation and poverty.
Soma will be not pleased with this conversation.
She knew we were going to Rampart.
Yes,
didn't
you
lie.
didn't mention, you know, the slaughtering and conquering of people.
Isn't that what the Rexus Federation do?
Oh my god.
But you're not actually Rexus.
But she is. Why is she appalled at this?
Well, the thing about it is that she doesn't like doing that. Just because she's a member of... She was conquered.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you conquer a country, and then those people
Yeah.
are now a part of that country that conquered them, do you think they would want to go around conquering other people?
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. She's on the side of the maybe. That's no.
Maybe that's no.
Okay, we're not subjugating the
Bummer.
people, but we are killing the rich guy who's keeping people in poverty.
We
But if we fly the colors of the Rexus Federation, then they won't come after us.
Man. Quick little geopolitics store of like, why? She's a part of it. She was conquered. So?
So what?
so
God, that was
Look,
funny.
I don't think it's wrong to show the colors if you want to. I think, you know, if it does more help, you know, for our ship and all, that's fine. We'll talk about what happens on Rampart later.
Okay.
I feel like they would come after us either way.
Yeah, probably.
But then if we're
Co-
flying the colors and we get in trouble, then the Emperor is kind of obligated to come help us, right?
Well,
Is he?
no.
Yeah, I'm a
Yes.
Valkyrie. I'm pretty important, I think.
He sure didn't help the Iconochorus.
No. But here's also going to be the deciding factor. Okay. How does the Rexus Federation feel about Seckle Cubes?
They don't know who that is.
Face
Okay,
palm.
we're good. Can I upload information on Seckle Cues to the Angel?
Sure.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Are you
Bird
gonna
the
need
angel.
my advice anymore, Effie, or can
Yes.
you take it from here? Okay, I'll stay.
Unless you want to go do something else.
No, I'll help.
Okay. She kind of looks at Soma.
Soma will look back, slightly appalled.
She kind of like hand waves. Look, I'll be straight with you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
follow a god called Seckle Cuse, who's kind of like my boyfriend. He's really cool. His whole ideals is that, you know, he wants to make sure that the poor are taken care of, and that the rich people aren't withholding things from the poor. This guy named Sudoku is running rampant on Rampart, taking all the money and not giving it to his subjects who are now starving to death. I have been tasked by Seckle Cuse to go and take care of the Sudoku problem. Now, the idea is, or my idea is, to take the money from this rich guy and distribute it to the poor, and, hopefully let whoever wants to deal justice to this guy. But it might also mean political assassination. That's the plan.
So we'll just say, if that is what your deity has told you to do, I won't stand in the way of that.
Now, if it's between subjugating some people and killing them, I hope it doesn't come to that, and that they could deal justice in the way that they deem fit. But if they're going to keep these people in poverty and keeping them starving to death, then we have to do what we have to do.
A tyrant should not be empowered.
Correct. And either, we're planning to get some rich stuff for ourselves to help our journey, and probably help take it either StormEdge or Arist with us. So, if any of your people want to come with or want to stay on the ship, that's up to you guys.
Maelie looks apologetically over at
She
Soma.
will nod.
All right. Can you, Angel, give me an update on Rampart?
Providing schematics. Okay. Give me a second. Oh my god. I hate being sick, let me tell you.
Vitamins.
If it helps, it won't. I'm just saying that I have to be leaving in an hour because I have to be sleeping for work.
Oh god.
Oh.
So if you want more work show with it, we can end when I leave.
Oh my god.
So you can have more time to rest between the sessions. I don't know.
Hang on a second.
Sorry for our thesis statement of roleplay that's happening in the chat, by the way.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, so the information that Econochorus gives you is a representation of the current political field of Rampart. Rampart is separated into feudal states that are represented by the major and minor clans. The major clans are based off of various animalistic representations of the glory of Rampart. Specifically, they are regulated to the crab, crane, the dragon, lion, mantis, phoenix, scorpion, unicorn, and spider clans, which are the major clans. There are also several, just dozens upon dozens of minor clans. These clans, or feudal houses, fight for domination across Rampart. Most notably, the one that you are seeking, Rice Lord Sudoku Shiko, has an estate within the small protectorate of Shine, which falls under the protection of the Spider Clan. To be clear, what that means is that a Rice Lord, which is more or less like a baron, under the protectorate of the vassal lord of the Spider Clan, and to specifically their war leader, which is called a Shogun. So your target is a lesser baron in the protectorate or large town of Shanae, which is under the kingdom of the Spider Clan.
Who are enemies of the Spider Clan?
Well, the Spider Clan has a rival in all the other major clans. Specifically, the feudal state of Rampart means that alliances are made and then broken pretty rapidly, changing only from... the changeover is basically based off of one generational scope. So each new generation revitalizes these alliances and these warring states. Mostly, it is their cultural belief in honor versus dishonor, the act of following Bushido, and the way that the resources within Rampart operate. Most specifically, the nature of the land means that the ley lines, this is all according to Kanakoros.
Yeah.
The leylenic nature of mana causes that bountiful seasons operate in different manners sporadically and almost randomly throughout Rampart. What that means is that the mana of the earth, the mana of the land rather, causes bountiful harvests in one clan and almost deadly famines in other clans and this is all based off their geographical location. So the reason why the feudal states are in a constant war is because of this particular problem, that plenty, that famine and plenty constantly are on the opposite ends of each other due to the sporadic nature of the ley lines. So this is why it generally takes one generation for any alliances that have been made to falter and fail out of necessity of these limited resources. Or rather these randomized resources.
Okay, and so essentially what's going on is that the Spider Clan had a pretty good harvest and they're just not sharing it with the people that harvested the land?
Correct. That's specifically this particular, this generation's particular brand of asshole happens to be Rice Lord Sudakoshiko, who he's a Rice Lord because his clan, the Spider Clan, is now experiencing plenty. So that means that now all the other clans that need food in order to survive are targeting them and so on and so forth in the never-ending vicious cycle. That is the reality of this world.
Okay.
To be
great.
clear, according to Kanakoros, it is unlikely that the people of Rampart are even aware that the reason that this is happening is due to their leylenic, to the leylenic undulations of their world's mana. According to Kanakoros, the actual technology level of Rampart is lesser than that of other worlds. It's actually below the medium. Although there is one notable exception. It seems that there is one area in Rampart that curiously has a higher digital signature, and by higher, he means any at all, than other places in Rampart. A curious anomaly.
Yep.
I wonder why.
Yeah. This is going to be a dumb question, but is there any hint on if this leylenic problem could be fixed?
Well, as Kanakoros goes into more detail, it could be. That would require an incredible amount of effort and time and another story arc. So, but yes, it could be. Most notably, it seems that the regulatory... Hold on, I have to say this like a robot, so... The regulatory entities are a band of elemental spirits which seem to be in discord for an unknown reason. Furthermore, as most cultures have developed a methodology of saving during times of plenty in order to survive times when there is not plenty, it seems that for some reason the culture of Rampart does not do this. And it seems that this is because of a folklore-based entity that is their personification of evil. Perhaps if this entity was dealt with, then storage and granaries could be possible.
Well, she kind of looks at Maelie and Seino. This seems like a lot of effort.
It's always a lot of effort. What's new?
What are your thoughts? I'm fine with just going and assassinating this terrible person who's letting people die. But there's a bigger problem where we could actually just fix the issue.
I mean, we stayed to help Dragonstar, so we can fix it, I guess. It would be better to try.
We always have to think about what is the gain we can get from putting in that amount of time, right?
I mean, we could tell everybody to give us money.
That is true. We are short on money.
We are short on money, and we're going to Dragonstar next, which gives us the most amount of stuff for our money.
That is also true.
We're poor.
Arcadum, I'd wanted to do a check a while ago.
Sure.
It was a 16 Arcana check. So Sera's run into angels that were corrupted. She ran into Primus. She ran into the Mayhem that had an index in it that was also corrupted of some sort. She knows that Arcana cores came from a ship that was also corrupting. She wants to see if his index, if he has any signs of corruption, of malfunctioning.
You do not see any evidence of it.
Okay.
So, and she kind of sees Sera jaunter up.
Wither on up and around,
What do you guys think?
giving this thing the eye. She'll greet it as well. Hello, I'm designated as Sera.
The creature will nod.
She'll look over to the group. What are we discussing?
So, we just got a lay of the land of Rampart. Seems like the problem with the grain, the Rice Lord, is that there's always these ebbs and flows and feast and famine, and the ley lines of the land kind of depicts where the feast and the famine are. I guess there's a way, there's these spirits, and I guess that there's something malfunctioning within the spirits that we could potentially fix and make it so that way the whole planet can have granaries and storage, and there's less of this, feast and famine situation. So, I guess there's two options. One, we go and we just kill this Rice Lord, and make sure that people get what they need now. Or we spend a lot more time trying to fix the underlying issue.
Sera will, her face set to a glow brighter because she doesn't have tattoos. Or she doesn't have eyebrows. We're considering a development project on a planet that is not our own.
Yeah.
She'll look at Effie consideringly.
But we can get money.
What is it that Sekul Hughes wanted you to do?
To kill Sudoku. Or bring him to justice and redistribute the wealth and keep some of the wealth for ourselves.
There you go. It was that one.
I like the bringing him to justice idea rather than the killing him.
I heard Seino mention what do we stand to gain. That is also my perspective. As long as we are gaining from this venture, I am for. How we go about doing it, I have no opinion, as poor as are. She'll frown. I have no inclination to help the powerless.
You know, what we could do is we have the little back hatch. We can go around the planet and dump off little things saying, hey, we're here to help fix your famine issue. Give us 10,000 bajillion gold. And we'll do it and see what they go for.
Effie, here's a problem. We're trying to take money from the people that are suffering from poverty.
No, we're taking it from the lords.
How do we fix their
And
problem?
they'll get more money because now they have food.
The ensign will say, don't these feudal societies tax their people? So if we get the money from the lords, won't that indirectly be from the people anyway?
You know what? Soma, you're right. Let's just go kill this guy. Leave them with their problem. They can fix it some other way.
I feel like if we were to try this, we have to have more insight when we're at the location. I feel like just out of this perspective right now, we don't know what we would gain from this, from a planet like this that is in development. So if there's anything, we will see it right there, and if there's nothing, we continue with our plan.
Sera will drape her tentacles over this chair, then lay here and look very much the half-fiend she is. I don't see the benefit to building granaries on a planet.
Because then their people won't starve.
We're not the ones to build them, we're the ones to lay the foundation for the people to build them. Kind of like how we helped fix Dragonstar. We're not the ones who actually, figure it all out, but we set the wheels in motion. I'm just surprised, in general, that Sekelkius cares about this situation.
What do you mean? It's people that are begging and are starving to death because one guy is hoarding all the wealth.
Why did he send you to Rampart to take care of this lord as a distraction from what the deities seem concerned about with Folly?
Because he loves me.
She'll just stare at Effie.
She stares back.
Why does he care about
missing the point?
The poor on this planet versus the poor on any other planet?
Probably because I'm his only chosen person within, arm's length of Rampart that could go fix the issue.
She'll whip out a toothpick and whittle out her teeth. Perhaps you should ask Sekelkius. Let him decide.
Ugh. I don't like shooting first, Effie. I don't know about killing him, but if you're the one to kill him and it's for Sekelkius, I'll leave that between you and him.
Yeah. There's also the thing where we have a literal demon with us, half devil, who needs to harvest some things for herself. So there's that too.
Her eyes will gleam at that. I would be happy to build granaries if I am killing people in the process, specifically humans. How they would benefit from the granaries when they are dead. She'll lift a shoulder and a shrug.
She literally does the Will Smith arm gesture towards Sera, looking at Maelie in the eyes.
I'm getting tired, guys. I think I might need a drink.
Okay, well, I'll do two more things, and then we'll. I think we should go with the Sudoku mission first, get that done, and figure out what we want to do from there.
Maelie begrudgingly acquiesces.
Okay, so first of all, she continues her conversation with the Kanakoris. Can you find an angel called Nomalos?
Scanning. I do not have that in my registrations.
It's on the vessel complex.
No contact with this vessel known.
Okay. All right. Hold on. She kind of goes into her mind place
Mind palace.
and goes, hey, Seckledeckles.
Okay, you praying?
Yes.
All right.
I miss you. We're going to Rampart. We're almost there. We're cruising. I just found out that there's kind of a way to potentially deal with these weird spirit things that are there, these elemental spirits. And there's one evil one that's, I guess, maybe corrupted or something that's causing the famine on the planet. Should I just go with the regular mission and then move on to, the whole Folly thing? Or, what's best? Amen.
Ellipses. Stops typing. Message read.
Puts the phone closer to her face.
Starts
Sera
typing.
continues to pick her teeth as she watches this exchange.
Stops typing.
Brings it closer to face.
Secklecuse will respond. There are those that suffer, and those that do not. I have heard the prayers and the cries of those begging in the street in Rampart. I am no stranger that this place suffers from a malady far worse than a singular lord. But I cannot ignore their cries. You have the power and the position to rid these people of their suffering, to answer the beggar's call. That is why I have sent you. But your greater mission, this folly, is beyond that of the beggars of a planet. It threatens far more than empty stomachs and empty hands. Follow your heart. Serve the shadows. That's his response.
She sends a heart emoji. And then looks at them. All right. Secklecuse says, let's go deal with Sudoku and move on to Folly.
Sera flicks her toothpick to the side. Right.
Also,
no granaries.
Soma,
Someone will look up.
you know about Folly?
No.
Okay. Good. And she turns back to everybody else. All right.
All right. Cool.
I got...
Good
Face
talk.
palms again.
Good talk.
She actually keeps plugging into a kind of chorus and uploads the information she has about Folly.
Fuck. Alright, give me a second.
Implodes.
Oh god.
Sera will wiggle her tentacles around this chair. She'll reach one out to tap Maelie on the back, on the opposite side where Seino is.
Maelie looks. What you need?
That was not me.
Okay. Maelie goes back to unfortunate pondering at the angel.
Seino gives Sera an annoyed look.
Sera just giggles to herself.
You know, like in sitcoms or comedies where they like stop to have like mind things, like in Family Guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's what is going on between like Effie and the angel. It's just every so often she just stops talking. And
That's what I'm imagining.
yeah.
All this bro time that's happening in Luca's room. They're just chatting it up while the ladies and Seino are just doing all that up there in the helm. All that shaking, nah, they're fine.
Yeah, we
just
chilling.
here.
Shake and bake.
Chilling.
She'll then reach another tentacle out, and this time she'll poke Maelie, this time on her side.
Maelie turns. What's up? Need something?
I was wrong before. It seems you are Rexian.
Oh. Well, no worries there. Although I have to admit, I'm kind of glad I'm not Paladonic. No offense.
There's something you should know, Maelie. And she'll take in everybody else here. And she'll study that Arcana course and sign similar here. I will share it later. That's just us.
Maelie nods.
Can't you just message it into her head?
I could.
Beep, beep, boop.
So, she'll then study Soba and Maelie. How is it to be reunited again?
Well,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Maelie looks kind of bashful. I'd like a minute with Soma later, you know, to get reacquainted, really. We just kind of met and have been on the run since then, you know?
Effie nods towards Maelie, understanding what she's pointing down.
I know very little about the Rexus Federation. Would you be willing to help me understand their society?
You asking me or Soma?
Both of you.
Well, yeah, I honestly don't remember as much as I probably ought to either. So, yeah, once I find out more, I'll let you know.
Let's give Maelie and Soma some time together, and then they can give us all a Rexus 101.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't mind Soma helping me learn, Rexan, because I think that's kind of important.
I like your new glasses, Effie.
Oh, I think they flatter my eyes.
They match your wings.
That they do. You like my cool glowy new tattoos?
Sera will give her a smile. We're near matching.
Yeah, but I don't have a face tattoo.
I wonder how much longer I'll have it.
I don't know.
Showed up one day.
How long have you had those tentacles?
She'll look down at them. She'll look back up. It's when I met Babylon. And, well, face to face.
Do you think Babylon has a thing for tentacle girls?
He seems to have a thing for his handmaidens, which I am one of them.
Do all of them have tentacles?
I've yet to meet another.
Okay,
like
so
tentacle
he's just
maidens.
into you to have tentacles.
I think he's into my potential.
Of tentacles?
Yes. I did notice on Greygrum they were offering me more.
More tentacles?
Mm-hmm. You remember when Luka was having a conversation about what extra parts to receive?
Yeah. When he just kind of abandoned Kaoton?
Yeah, that was. She'll glance around, make sure Luka's not around. That surprised me. You all seemed rather adamant on allowing him to coexist with a daemon, and yet, at the unveiling of the daemon's plot, just walked away.
Yeah, well. You know, when I got on Conflux, I was fateless, right? I didn't have anybody else cohabiting the vessel that I had. I'm not one to judge what you do with your own vessel, I guess.
Alrighty. As you upload the the coordinates of what you know about Folly and where his position is and all that information, something curious will happen. Karakornos will tilt its head and then will respond. Peculiarity. This one has detected this path before.
What do you mean?
Is this out loud, or is this just like Effie's mind?
This is everybody can hear this.
Okay, cool.
Presenting parameters. Alright. As the Greater Angel starts to reveal access points on the star map, you can see the information that you have uploaded from Folly, the path to Band, the way that it's cut through the dream, but you will also see that there is another path that follows it almost exactly. In fact, the only departure is that Folly seems to have stopped at Band, rather than continued in the trajectory. This trajectory of this other path seems to be in a complete circle.
Can I see the designation of the vessel that has taken that path?
As you select this information, there is a very strange feeling that comes over you. Akanakorus kind of fades away slightly, as if it is being difficult to maintain its position and manifestation. As you request the designation, it responds only with designation Herald.
Oh, good.
Oh. Can I ask a Storm question?
Sure.
Is that the comet?
That is the Herald, yes.
Okay.
Or at least the path it took.
Oh no.
Would Sera, the Highfall Archivist, know about this?
You would know only of the legends written during that time. But it's become clear that the path of this herald circled through the sector in a circular, repeated fashion. Each one
will frown. Oh, go ahead.
Each one being offset slowly. Akara Koronos will display each pass designation that has been tracked by the various archives that are shared between the angels. And you will see that as each path curves, not quite a circle, but more so to a triangular oval, starting at one point, reaching an apex, and devolving into another one. The apex of each of these points seem to be within the center of a singular world, and as all of the designations of the routes of the Herald are calculated to the very last one that was calculated, you can see that it forms the points of a star.
Are there 7 points?
No, there are 6.
Okay.
A 7th almost formed. But it seems that the Herald did not finish its final voyage.
Can I see Folly's trajectory and how it... Like, basically, I want to know how many points have formed.
Folly's trajectory is designated at such an angle that if Folly were to continue, would complete the star.
Okay. What is the loading percentage of that completion?
Akanakoros cannot tell you that. It does not know the current speed in which Folly is traveling, nor even if Folly is even still in its designation or if he even has arrived at Band. You can only give him what the plotted course is, not the actual position.
Oh, yeah.
Sera's gonna slap this thing, like the button that she usually does when she slaps it to summon previous Tits McGee to turn on the megaphone. And she'll ask Luka and Irha to join them at the bridge. And she'll fix a stare at Maelie. Maelie, I know you wish to speak with this entity, but the Herald is what killed us. She'll gesture to all of them before. It's what was trying to devour creation.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
And
I mean-
Folly, which is its son, for lack of a better word, seems to be trying to finish that objective.
I disagree. I mean, if he was trying to finish it, he would have already done so, right?
It's
And
what he's in the
besides,
process of doing.
Not moving. I mean, it takes time. Maelie,
Well-
you can tell with how often we've been in our ship and how long it's taken us.
I know, but I also feel that children are different from their parents. She looks kind of upset.
Irha.
What's going on here?
Yeah,
What's
Irha.
happened?
Alright,
We
Luka
have-
to walk up.
Effie storylines.
Storylines.
Sera will take a
Starlight.
deep breath and she'll look at Luka and Irha, and she'll also look at the rest of the group. She's going on the assumption with her massive librarian nerd brain. She'll tell them about the Herald. About 53 years ago, there was an event. It is also when all of us, well, perished in our different ways. There is something called the Herald, and it was created by one of the primary colors. And while none of us had anything to do beyond being reaped as souls, as energy to it, Taladon, the head of my order, attempted to leverage some of this power as a weapon to defeat it, as one does, trying to use itself against it. That is what we are chasing. And what Arcanakoros has unveiled is Folly is following the same path as I'm not sure if father is the right word, as what the being it belongs to was doing.
Basically, from what I know and what was told to us by Nomalos, something stopped the Herald. And that's how all of our souls got free from the giant meteor in the sky and put us in these vessels on conflicts. According to what Akanakoros just told me, is the Herald never finished its final arc into the destruction of creation. However, Folly is finishing that final arc right now.
We don't know what he's doing. He's just a
Irha,
kid.
Irha
He's
kind
like
of starts.
50 years old.
Irha starts tapping his foot at this information. Well, how long has... Can we see how long Folly has been sitting on band?
No.
Then how are we going to assume that perhaps he is rethinking his decision? As from what I've learned, children are always not like their parents. And perhaps this is all he knew because he's been imprisoned for most of his life. I would like to still go try to speak with him on a civil matter. You're right, the information is telling us this is what he's doing. That's what the information says. But we do not know if that is what he is doing.
I'm not saying.
I know you're not. And he is a person. And we've given everyone a chance who has a soul, an opportunity to live. And we should give him the same.
I'm not saying that we should go in guns blazing. I still think that, you know, to keep this party from ripping itself apart, we should give you guys a chance to talk to it. However, what I'm saying is that him completing this arc will destroy all of creation.
Then
we need to get there before he continues on this arc.
So would you like to continue to go onto Rampart to aid these people, or would you like to streamline to Folly?
Well, I think we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have no money. According to Iconochorus, our ship is poor.
Super poor.
We're very poor. We don't have a lot of equipment that is helpful for us to try and help with the Folly situation should it go to shit. So the best thing that I have is to try and get a blessing from my god to try and help me with this Folly situation, right?
Right.
We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I would like to go to Dragonstar because we have 2 people who commune with dragons and try and get their ire back to help us with the Folly situation. We can't. It's a suicide mission if we were to go straight to Band without any additional resources.
It is a suicide mission, you're correct. But you have to remember Dragonstar is way the back fuck over there. And Rampart...
No, it's on our way.
On our way.
Oh, it's on our way. Okay, my bad. My bad. Player wrong. Well, okay. I mean, if it's on our way, we can stop by real quick. We can talk to the dragons for some fucking reason. We can try to get their aid back. Perhaps say, get on our hands and knees and say, I'm so sorry my rogue decided to fuck us up. Please forgive me. Don't murder me. Thank you.
Look, Irha, I've already paid for my sins. I went through a trial.
I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you, Effie. I know you paid for your sins. You're a sinner.
But
we all know this. I'm playing with you.
We're more powerful now. We'll try and get some stuff from them. Maybe do a mission or one, and try and get some money to get us some equipment, and then we'll go upgrade our ship, and then we'll be good to go.
Right. I get and he kind of throws up his hands a little bit. I think that is the best decision then. But no lollying, no trying to get into places we don't need to be, and that includes all of us. As much as I would love to explore the fauna or whatever the dragons have, we can always do that on a later date. I don't believe we're going to be losing the ship anytime soon, unless we die. But let's not hope on that.
Let's not die.
Let's not die.
So let's do this Rampart in and out quick mission. Get the ire of my god and my date. Let's go to Dragonstar, try and get some stuff from the dragons. And then we'll go upgrade our ship. And, zoom on over to Band.
Luka raises up a hand. Do we have at least a trajectory or an idea of how long this would take for him to complete this arc?
Nope.
Okay.
I asked that from our angel earlier.
Maelie looks really kind of distraught with the way the conversation is going, but she speaks up and says, I kind of think it's like how he let us go. on the station, I feel like Folly is waiting for someone to show him how to live. That could just be feelings, right? Totally unfounded. But I don't think he's gonna move. I think he's done what he needs to, and he's just looking for the next thing to do. And if we
Like
get there
destroy
and...
planets.
No. Stop thinking the worst of him. Give him a second chance.
Isn't that what he said he was gonna do?
He said he was gonna get revenge on the people who
Yeah.
had imprisoned him. And he blew up the station, and he went to band. And for all we know, he's there getting revenge
So
right
how
now.
many people were on the Twilight Station, Maelie?
I don't know.
Sera will also blanch at the getting revenge on people who imprisoned him. That would be me.
Why would it be you specifically?
It's the Taladani who imprisoned him. And it's the Taladani who gave a piece of it to the Rexus Federation.
Well.
Ira just kind of puffs and he
I do think there is validity in that this is a creation made of both humanity and otherworldly. So there may be rationality there. I think for me to be at peace with a diplomacy attempt, I need to understand what you two would like to convince it of.
Ira just kind of taps his foot and sighs. I understand where we're coming from, and I understand the revenge that he might have. And I believe that we are possibly looking at this a little too statistically. Granted, when we first met Folly, as I don't want to turn this into an argument or anything else, we had every opportunity to try to fight him on the spot. I believe me and Maelie, as we stand, do have an upbringing with him. We do have an opportunity to speak with him a little more lightly termed than the rest of us. I'm not saying this because he hates you, I'm saying this because we did him a favor. And I appreciate that you guys are trying to let us have this opportunity, and me and Maelie, we understand and we see where you guys are coming from. We have to go into with a clear mind. I don't think most of us understand what it feels like to be imprisoned for all of your life. And I don't think maybe he doesn't even understand the terms of revenge and what revenge truly means. And I understand we keep calling him a kid. And perhaps he's not really a kid anymore, but he's still a child at heart. And we shouldn't be sitting here and trying to point out all the flaws that he might have.
But
we have to have an open mind with this. And I want to try our best to sit here and give him that opportunity, one he's not had in such a long time, a choice, do the right thing.
We're not telling you guys not to do that, and we will give you the opportunity to try and convince him. However, based off of the knowledge that we have now, is he probably will try, and the keyword is probably, finish this trajectory, and we just need to get there to give you guys the chance to try and convince him otherwise before he does that.
Of course. And
That's the only thing we're talking about right now. We're not talking about going in with our pew 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 space lasers.
Ira does the same back, by the way.
And trying to just blow them apart. We're just saying that we need to get this show on the road in order to get there on time.
So is that the objective, Ira and Maelie, to try to convince him to do what you see as right?
Yes.
Well, it's more to teach him. He doesn't know who his parents are. He doesn't remember. And us going through what we went through, dying and coming back, we kind of went through the same thing. Just because we remember now, we spent nearly a year not remembering, right? I just want to give him the chance to be taught what my parents taught me and to be given the choice, which is all you can ask of someone. And maybe he'll make a mistake, choose wrong. We'll deal with it then. But we don't know that. He might just need a friend. If he had someone he knew was looking out for him and hoping he would do the right thing, it might give him the strength to try every day. And Maelie kind of glances at Irha and then glances away. And I just want to try and teach him, see what he says.
I have one final question.
Go ahead.
Is that not the chance you gave him by releasing him?
No.
No.
That was a different promise.
What was that promise?
We gave him the chance to be free. We didn't have the chance to have the time to teach him. There's a difference there. Freedom is not the same as learning. You've seen me as an ambassador, Sera. I've been highly successful. The other times you haven't seen me back on Conflux, right? Except for situations that seem to be out of my control. I consider that most of my deals haven't gone bad. A couple of my deals in my previous life, I mean, nobody's perfect, but for the most part, I'd say I've got 80 to 90% success rate when it comes to being ambassador.
But otherwise, I think he has potential. All of us have potential. And so we should probably try, as Effie was saying, to get the show on the road so we can get to Folly quicker.
I think, to your point, Maelie, is if you want to try and convince this person otherwise, you guys have to get to him before anybody else does. He was made as a way to harvest power. And now that this power is out in the open, who knows? He might be unbanned because somebody captured him and is trying to use his power for something else.
And how do you suggest me and Maelie get to him quicker? If I'm not trying to sound like dumb here, if we're in a group.
We're moving as fast as we can, it seems. We're only stopping for the resources we need and the things that we feel would help us be, strong enough, or at least get there safe enough to actually talk to him. I think we're going as fast as we can. I'm not asking for more.
Sera will clear her throat. Who do we want as alliances? I have methods to contact those of the Taladani and Ragdarian.
Weren't the Taladani some of the people who imprisoned him? I wouldn't want that as an alliance backing us up. No offense.
Is that something we have to decide right now?
It is something I can set in motion today.
Can we
They
ponder
most
on
likely
it?
understand this entity better than any of us. She'll look around. There was a book that the Shadow Fiend had on Greygrom, on the creation of Folly. Did we acquire that? I do not have it.
I don't think we have that.
Did you have Moto lick
Luka
it?
shakes his head.
No,
Didn't he tell the story to you and Moto?
no.
Then who did he tell the story to?
I believe the council.
Well,
Yeah,
Looks
so
like
that
we
was
don't-
implied that we heard it as well, right?
I'll ask you that, Arcadum.
Yeah, we did because we asked questions about it.
The Shadow Fiend, he said he had a book on the creation of Folly. Is that something that we were privy to?
To seeing the book or having the book?
To have understood the contents of it.
At a rudimentary level, I'd say so.
Okay, cool. What was in that book?
Well, specifically, it follows the the path of creation of a synthetic soul. Folly, in and of itself, was the preliminary product of a synthetic creature being created, a synthetic soul. This goes back to the original prototyping by Taladon and its attempt to be recreated by other apprentices towards him, which is pretty much the rest of the council, most notably Tyr. However, the creation of Folly is believed to be simultaneously a stroke of engineering genius and absolute pandemonium. Folly's creation is a miracle within a catastrophe, a chance that is unlikely to be replicated again. What you are able to discover is that for some reason, somehow, this is not explained in the book, but the soul of Folly was created in such a way that it was able to retain the power of other forces outside of its own existence, its own plane of existence. This is what makes Folly so potent, and ultimately what led to the folly of Maltos, the fall of the planet, was that no one could control the power inside of Folly, not even those that created him. For Folly himself does not even understand, or at least it is projected by the book, that the power that he has within is not even of this plane. It is believed to be prismatic, hence of the colors. Which is why Folly was sealed away. Or at least the reason that is presented by the book.
Was there an author on this book?
The author was a designated seer and witness to the events of the creation of Folly. This was an official Taladonic text.
Cool.
So it doesn't really have an author. It has a recorder.
Here, the only thing you've got to consider is that being Taladani, their view of him is going to be flavored by what they think they know. It's not going to be what they actually know.
Yes, they would most likely want to capture and destroy him. As it is the reason that is portrayed for why the Taladani crumpled.
And I'd rather like to stop that, which is the reason why I freed him.
The other option I have is... She'll pause again and look at the people present. Is a different viewpoint within the same Taladonic society.
And what's that?
Well, they would most likely want to, if they would consider it, use Folly for their own gain.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that my statement of maybe somebody's using him on band or trying to get him on band is too far off.
Yeah, it's not too far-fetched.
That just means we gotta go save him again.
Yep. So things like potential alliances and whatnot may be a little bit of a back burner as we're trying to get some stuff done.
Yeah. But I think
Points
it's
to
fine if we get
orbiting.
stuff done in the middle, you know?
Pointing at orbiting around Rampart.
My two connections are out. Sounds like we are attempting the dragons. Any others?
I probably have some pull with the Rex's Federation.
Sera will think about that one.
Potentially me too.
The Rex's Federation also tried to use the power that's inside Folly for their own gain. And that is what blew apart the Chroniclers.
Well, I can say, Effie is basically a giant mega woman, while Maelie does have history with the Rexus Federation, but her, as a person, does not. Her previous life does, or at least the life that her vessel had. So, difference? We didn't really know too much about the Rexus Federation when we decided to make a cool robotic woman, and we didn't know too much about the Rexus Federation when we found out that Maelie's old vessel was a cool commander lady. Otherwise, I believe that's
War hero. She'll give Maelie a cheeky smile.
Effie flexes her boobs one by one and says,
I can actually do that IRL.
I can too.
Oh, you can do that too? Oh my god.
I can do that.
So-
Let's go.
The talk of alliances, and she's still flexing. The talk of alliances, I
Sera
think,
just
can be
blatantly stares at her chest.
put on a little bit of a back burner right now while we just deal with some of this other stuff. Yeah?
I agree. I think, however, and some of the face tattoo kind of fades away. More of our humanity shows up. If we are going to speak with this entity, instead of a show of power, we need to be considerate in how we would be approachable.
Right, we have two people that freed him. That's the approach.
So she'll study Maelie and Irha. What are the things that you need? She'll look down at herself. I can certainly hide my being away, but what are the things you two need to prepare you?
Picnic basket.
Irha kind of looks around, and he thinks, I could get some stuff on Dragonstar. As, hey, look, we brought you really cool souvenirs, and we traveled across the fucking galaxy for you. Literally.
No
Presents are always nice, but a picnic. Everything is better discussed over food, or drinks, or both.
Has he even had food before? Yeah. Maybe we just have to find. We could gather food items from the planets that we go to, and try to cook something. We do have a kitchen, and
It's gonna take us like 2 months to get there. It's gonna be rotten by then.
Not right now, Effie.
That's what prestidigitation is for. To make it taste like the food.
Wizards, Effie.
That's
okay,
true.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Food doesn't run around us.
So what happens if you go with the picnic basket and he goes, I don't have a stomach? Then what's the plan?
Well, then we just tell him, try it anyway and see what happens.
What if
it's part of being included. The fact that you're sitting there with him is enough.
Yep, see?
Well, haven't you had a girlfriend who's been on a diet? And then you're like, hey, come to lunch with us, and then everybody, is eating French toast.
No.
And then they're like, how dare you? You're eating in front of me. I'm on a diet.
No, Effie, I would not know that. I ate bird seed. Okay, I do not have French toast. Iris says this with like a joking tone as he was.
Sera perks up and fishes out some sunflower seeds. She'll hand them over to Irha.
Irha kind of perks up himself and takes the sunflower seeds in his hands and starts.
Does he use it does he pick them up with his mouth? Like a bird?
Yeah, you can see him lifting the sunflower seeds up to his mouth and like grabbing it with his tongue and eating it instead of just putting it.
Gives him a very judgmental look.
Oh, cute, but doesn't get distracted. She goes and turns back to Effie and says, "Well, it's not about the amount of food; it's about the people around the table. If he can't eat, that's fine. We'll put the food away, and we'll still be there with him, and that'll count for something. At least to Dada."
I don't think we need to plan for the what ifs because they're.
You and Irha can just have a baby on your own.
Maelie blushes.
Irha kind of pauses for a moment. A very curious question. I don't.
Sera will steamroll right through it. She stands up. I feel confident in our choices. However, she'll look towards Seino and Luka.
Uh-huh.
For the quiet voices here, are we rallied?
There's one thing that does concern me about this. If I have to be frank. And he looks at Irha and... Oh my god, Maelie. My brain flatlined.
Oh, I've had moments today too. Where am I? Wait, who's that?
Wait, hold on for a second. Oh yeah, Irha, Maelie, and Seino. And also Chala. When we were with the clowns, we saw a vision, which was most likely a window in how Folly was made. We saw a crystal, and that specific color enter or escape, but also hit Taladon, which was his hand. And then, of course, that had to be quarantined, and that hand became Folly. So, the one thing that concerns me is that, considering if you manage to speak with Folly, and things go south, and we may have to fight him, or dispose of him in any sort of way, that leaves the question of what will happen to that specific color that is wedged inside him. That's what I'm worried about. That
Fire just
may
gives
be
a very
freed.
long shrug. Well, I think that question is kind of just not contradictory, but more so you're thinking too much about it. That is something that we are unable to control. A lot of this, from what I remember, we are equally able to die, just as we are equally able to be successful in this. Worrying about the colors and everything else at the moment, that's way above our league.
I'm
I
sure.
understand that, but that is a legit concern that I have.
It is a legit concern.
It's what will happen. Would that color enter you? Would it enter Maelie?
Well, we just have to find out then. There's so many questions and possibilities that can go wrong with this, and we can't be sitting here. And I'm not trying to disinvalid your question. I'm not trying to disinvalid your curiosities, because you're right. It is a good question. What will happen to that color? What if we successfully end him, to say the least? What will happen to it? That's just something. Let's hope we don't lead to that. You know?
It'll go back to the prism, right?
That is assumed, but I'm just worried about after.
Well,
Look, we
think
can
about
sit
it.
here and do what ifs all day. We can't plan for everything, right?
I
It
agree.
seems like
Fair
we
enough.
have agreed since pretty early on to give Maelie and Irha the chance to try and talk to this. There's no going around that. That's what they're going to do, whether or not we help them or not. So we just have to give them a shot and come up with a plan if that fails.
She'll look towards Luka. And Luka, I know this is a bit of a morbid viewpoint, but if we fail, there will be others behind us to try.
I'm sure of it. I'm not denying that.
Besides, when it comes to us as a team, some sort of option has always presented itself to get us out of the sticky situation and fix things, more or less. Fix is a strong word.
Handy dandy elixir. She'll look towards Seino.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Seino will perk up and say, the only thing that I see that is the important thing, and I think there's really nothing else to it, which is kind of an easy solution, but it's the solution we came up with. Nothing will change. We will approach Folly. We will try the diplomatic route, and if that fails, then we probably have no other options, or different options reveals itself. There's really there's really not much to it than us just getting there and seeing how this situation will play out. I think that's all we can do for now.
We can also just say fucking and let everybody die, including ourselves. Somebody else's problem.
Well, yeah, but if we let everyone die, then everyone dies. And there's just thousands and trillions and billions and
Exactly.
zillions and
And then it's not a
quadrillions.
problem.
Well, then it'll just be an empty voice of space, and then maybe something will come along. So Ira kind of pauses at that, and he's like, No, I think I would rather continue to live. I have a lot of things to live for. And he kind of like looks over to Maelie. I have a ton of things to live for. So let's try to not let trillions, zillions, billions, and all sorts of cool aliens die. Please.
Okay, then let's
I
get
got
this show on
mages
the
to
road.
guide.
Sera will interrupt in a very weird way with a blunt statement. I need to harvest souls. Is that all right?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, Ira just kind of pauses, looking over to her. Is that your demon side talking? Is that what you need to do?
They fuel me.
Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, I can't stop you. You can freeze me in an instant. There's nothing I can do to stop now. Okay.
She'll move over. She'll go the shoulder hug with her arm. It was really your approval I was looking for. Thank you.
Wow, Sera needing approval for anything.
She'll look at everybody else. Let's go.
Ira just kind of just pauses and he's like, I really hope Goldenbeard doesn't hate me for that one.
Okay, here's the Rampart plan. She kind of rolls out a map, but there's nothing on it.
Is it time to push people around? Oh my god, Sera's so excited. She comes up. She gets one of those long sticks you use to move
Mainly
the
will
people
trade
around the
places
board.
with Sera.
She gets very excited. All right, Effie, where do we go?
So here's the thing. This guy Sudoku, he's part of the Spider Clan. He's a rice lord, and he's the one that's harvesting or using people to harvest all this stuff and letting them starve. Okay?
She'll set up a little, what are those building calls? The Asian style buildings that,
Pagodas.
She'll set up a pagoda. all with the magic, and then she'll put a very long piece of grain and label it as Sudoku right in front of it.
So that's Sudoku. He's obviously going to be surrounded by some people that he's paid off, to keep him safe. And she kind of holds Seino up under her arm so he can see. Kind of smashed up into her bosom.
He will just accept it.
She'll put a little army of
acceptance.
people around Sudoku. All little pieces of grain now.
So, here's the thing about Sudoku, okay? He is only in power because he has control over this grain. Now, if we get rid of him and, redistribute the wealth and give some grain to the poor people, mission successful. However, what I would like to do is go in with a show of force, kind of opposite to what we're planning to do with Folly. Say, look, we got a dragon. We got a paladin who rides the dragon. We got 2 flying horses. And then we have a omega powerful gnome that shoots flames out of his back. And then we have a hovering cleric. And then a
don't forget
tentacle
you.
wizard.
And don't forget you.
And then me, who's also a
Transformer.
gigantic transformer lady. Okay? So, I would like to go in with a show of force and basically tell these people, hey, lay down your arms, turn on this guy, redistribute the wealth, or you might have to die with him, okay? But the idea is that we capture this guy and turn him over to the people to distribute justice with. But if that doesn't work, then we kill him.
Once.
She'll make a
Ira
little
agrees.
spaceship of them, and then she'll put all of them in various little caricature versions, descending upon the field of rice. And then for added effect, she'll put the Hellfire cannons in action. They're gonna just burn it all down.
If I heard you right, you're saying diplomacy first?
No,
Darn.
I'm saying
Sera will elbow Maelie in the side. She'll chuckle. She'll laugh loudly.
only
I'm
if the
just going to-
diplomacy...
Give Maelie a good side hug. No.
Only
no.
if diplomacy results in them laying down their arms and turning on Sudoku. How about that? And the ultimatum of the diplomacy is if they they don't do that, then we're gonna blow them all to smithereens and feed them to our dragon and our tentacle wizard.
Are we
Irha.
plundering the planet?
Irha asked Gunvir, would you be okay with in his brain, would you be okay with possibly being an intimidation factor?
Said fucking. Sorry, you were saying that. Fred.
I
Yes.
don't think Arcadum's here. I have a big
Yeah,
from 3 minutes ago.
My name
hasn't
is
said
Golden
he's
Beer.
So
Oh, okay. Well, I just have to ask Gunvir if he's okay being an intimidation factor. Otherwise, I think he'd love to be praised and feared at the same time.
look,
Exactly. He's a dragon.
He's
Well,
a
from what I
dragon.
know about dragons is they like to swing their dicks around as often as they can.
No,
Sera
no, I
nods.
don't want to think about that. He's my child.
They want to be like,
say.
oh, my name is Golden Beer, or Vile, or whoever else, Anus, and
Okay.
you know, it's me, and I'm a dragon, and fear me because I'm a dragon.
His title was
okay.
Devourer of Worlds, wasn't it? Ira?
Yeah,
Perhaps
yes.
he's
And
hungry.
Ira pauses and he's like, I still don't know what the title means. He hasn't told me shit.
Doesn't Gobbles report to you, Irha?
Yes, and he hasn't told me shit.
Okay, so why don't you take the lead? Sometimes you have to take the lead in the dance, Irha.
I don't.
Sera
that
looks
seems
thoughtful.
hard.
I think we
I mean-
each need a title.
I'm the Giga Captain.
bye.
I'd like to be a Devourer of Worlds.
Okay, then make that your title. Okay.
No, that's
So
Golden
back
Beer's.
to the plan.
Look, I just don't like shooting first. You know, if we're not in immediate danger, I don't like being the one to take the first hit.
No, we don't have to take the first hit.
Well, we're
I'm
not
telling
going for
you.
diplomacy.
Well, no,
we
Maelie, you didn't listen to what I just said to you.
I
We're
heard.
intimidating. We're not
I-
murdering.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said show up with force and tell them that if they don't turn on their own guy and tie him up and deliver him to the people for justice, that we will kill them.
But that still implies being the first one to hit them.
Or
Well,
Or-
no, we're giving them a choice. We're saying
Or-
you do this or we do this, so they have a choice.
or we can rephrase that as you do this, and if you don't, this could possibly happen. You know, strike the idea of fear. You know, and then if the and, you know,
No, Irha,
I'm
you ride a
just-
fucking dragon. Their whole thing is being intimidating and showing fear.
Sera will subtly maneuver her. What are they called when you're doing this? The army planning. What's that board
Miniatures.
called? She'll maneuver her miniature board of war around, and she'll set it to where Maelie sitting behind Ira on the dragon, and she'll look at Maelie. You could look at it as like a date.
You can also just stay out of this if you don't want to help.
Seino will perk up, but isn't the whole goal of this operation to help the poor and not lead them into battle?
That does
Yeah, that's
remind
not
me,
what
I
I'm
wanted to
saying.
ask a question. What is their
Awesome.
currency? She'll look around. Where's big money? I would very much not like to be paid in grain.
Well, we have a money exchanger.
We have
Wait.
big money.
Where is that? Well, he's all the way down here.
Hey,
So-
he's sleeping.
So, either we go in with an intimidation and give them a chance to lay down their arms. And talking to you, Seino, we're not talking about leading the people into battle. We're talking about the people that surround him that are guards, who are
Oh.
probably in his envoy because, you know, he pays them in grain or money or whatever, right? To turn another eye and to be their protector. That's who we're talking about.
And you know, Maelie, sometimes rebellion isn't a horrible thing. Maybe you can get. Maybe you're a diplomat, see? You know, because we do want to try to have your peaceful, as that you can diplomat them to rebel. You're pretty
That's
good
what
at
I'm
that.
saying. Is we go
See?
in, we say, lay down your arms and capture this guy. We don't want to have to hurt you, but we will if you, attack us against this guy. Right? That's the whole idea.
I
Sera will
think
make eyes at Luka.
I might be too tired from the most recent battle and escaping the ship and all. I think I'd rather have a good night's sleep, perhaps, first, and then decide whether or not I'm gonna help in this shakedown endeavor.
Okay, then we'll just go kill them all.
I don't know, just kind of like throws up his hands. Effie, we're not going to just go kill them all.
That's what we did on the ship.
No, well, because they were infected.
Yeah, so is this guy. This guy's infected by the need of greed.
Oh my gosh.
I think we're
no.
going about this all in circles.
Sera will suddenly realize,
Yeah, now it turns to shit.
will your god want to kill me eventually?
I don't know. Different topic for a different time.
That's a different topic for a different day. Let's not talk about
She'll
that.
go
right
back to
now.
making eyes at Luka. Would you like
He
to
makes
more
eyes
phrase
at her.
Well, everyone should make eyes at Luka.
Why?
Okay.
There.
So let's swoopy down. After we give Maelie some alone time with Soma, and I want to do a little bit more research, but let's land. Let's go in with the idea of the only reason I'm saying of the intimidation thing is for you, Maelie.
Thank you for thinking of me.
You're welcome. Instead of just going in by myself and ninja slicing all their throats.
Where
So
do we want
let's
to
do
land?
that.
She'll
We're gonna
position the
land-
miniatures to land right on top of the pagoda.
I need to find a shrine first, apparently, according to Cycle Cues. So
Oh.
we can go a little bit outside the city. We're all kind of stealthy, I think, and we can make our way into the city.
Sera slaps her tentacles on the ground.
Area
I
is
am-
made out of
I am
rocks. I can hide
very
pretty
stealthy.
And then we'll do our show of force.
DM's back. I had a question for Goldenveer.
What's up?
Would he be okay being used as an intimidation factor? Because his name is literally Goldenveer, the Devourer of Worlds or something. Destroyer, Devourer, one of the two.
Not only is he okay with it, he'd be insulted if you didn't.
Yes!
Irha relays that information. He looks to Maelie. My dragon is telling me we need to be intimidation.
Sera claps.
And I'm not trying to go against your pastors and smarts, but the dragon says, and he'll be insulted. And if I don't follow him, I will never hear the end of it. I already hear so much bullshit from him. I love him very much. He is my son. I'd rather not.
Well,
he
we
wouldn't.
can't have
he wouldn't
that.
literally be insulted. It's just that's not a question you really have to ask. Yes, I would love to intimidate lesser pores.
Oh my god.
Sera's miniatures will start to devolve in different ways of slaughtering Sudoku.
Arcadum, what looks like the best landing area for us?
With the most pizzazz.
Is pizzazz a factor?
Yes.
Pizzazz
Yes.
needs to be a factor.
You could just land right on top of his estate.
That's what I said!
Great,
guys!
let's do it! We're gonna
Dang,
do it! Okay.
just land on
Land
it.
on the pagoda!
No way.
I'm so excited. Sera's so
Okay.
excited, and since Luka isn't coming to her, she'll slither on around the table. She'll come stand next to Luka. Then she'll go back to poking around her miniatures.
Okay. So it
He
sounds
loves
like we
our
have a plan.
miniatures.
Sounds like we have a plan. Let's give Maelie some time with Ensign Soma, and then we'll land.
Yes.
On
She'll
top
look at
of the-
Luka.
on top of the thing,
Yes.
do you want me to summon Goldenveer in here?
Yes,
then
in the
that's-
hold, because what I'll do is as we're landing, because I can pilot from fucking anywhere now.
We should parachute out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna open up the hatch, and the people on their horses, and you on your dragon are gonna pop out of the back hatch, and we're gonna. You can make your voice loud, right, Maelie? Or you can make your voice loud. Some of you.
Yes.
some
Oh
of you-
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. You're gonna
Goldenveer can
boom
be very
out.
loud.
On behalf of Cycle Cues, we have come to capture Sudoku. Lay down your arms or we will have to kill you.
Okay, we can say a little more fancier than that. Well,
Yeah, but the
something-
Cycle Cues thing is important.
Yeah, the cycle piece thing is important, and
You should
just-
mention Sekluhus. I will not declare my allegiance to him.
I don't care about you and your allegiances.
Then your announcement. She'll go back. Luka, will you help me look at this arcane vessel?
Sure.
Yay.
And me and you need to chat for a little bit.
She'll loop her arm around Luka, and she just leaves.
Oh God, just sucks him up into her hugs.
Sure.
Just leave.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
She'll go
Arcadum,
back to her table.
Yes.
do I happen to know Soma's drink of choice?
Her drink of choice would be a Storvex whiskey.
Well, I'm gonna go check the kitchen.
Irha, before Maelie leaves, he's going to just hey, I just want you to let you know that I hope you're not disappointed in me for me coming along with this plan. It sounds very fun telling a really fat guy, to fuck off. In the
How do
most
you know he's
kind
fat?
fashion possible. I don't
He's fat on grain, baby.
Oh
yeah,
my
poor
God, he's been eating all
fat
that
on
rice.
money.
He's got that beer belly.
Oh my
God.
Let me go talk to Soma and then maybe we can talk later tonight before we land tomorrow in the morning.
Irha kind of gives like a kind of a sad tone as he feels like he is messed up. Yeah, we can talk tomorrow.
No, night.
Tonight. We can talk tonight. That's fine. And he kind of puts his hands behind his back and like pivots. He quickly makes his way down the stairs. Click, 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 click.
Sera hears him coming. She'll wave him over the table.
Maelie,
Yeah.
do you want the helm to yourself
I was just gonna go to my room
with Soma?
so that
Your
you could have.
waggly eyebrows.
Oh goodness! Look, we shared a room the entire time we were on Conflux. What's any different?
You know, true.
Thank you. I was gonna let you have your space with your new angel and your new
My new pal.
yeah, your new accoutrements too. You know, you were gonna.
Oh, we didn't get your sex spot.
No!
Oh my
Left the sex spot.
No.
Does the kitchen have Soma's specific whiskey or just any whiskey?
It has any whiskey.
All right, cool. I will grab a couple tumblers.
Okay.
And
She will
then
gesture for Soma to follow Maelie.
wander back to the door. Hey, Soma, you want to chat?
Okay.
Here, come this way. You'll be quieter for one thing. My room's down here.
There's just frigid air coming from this wall at all
I'm about
times.
to say, is this that wall ice? Like this specific wall right here, is that ice?
Sera's not in there, so it's like 30 degrees warmer than it usually is, but it's still too cold. Eerily cold.
Sorry for the chill, you know. It's Sera's my next door neighbor and she's kind of icy.
Soma does not seem to be bothered by the icy chill of the constant AC blasting.
I don't think I'm bothered anymore either if my engineer robes protect me from temperature changes in the sea.
They sure do.
Hey, yay, I'm not cold anymore.
You're
Hooray.
toasty
We're
and warm.
cold.
So I pour a little shot of whiskey and hand it over to Soma. And I pour one for myself. Sorry for all that goings on in the you know, area of the ship, the helm, right? My team is a little excessive sometimes.
I see.
You don't mind, do you?
I am grateful to be alive. It is not my place to judge the eccentricities of those that have rescued us.
Well, that's reassuring. I had a couple questions for you, and I know that this is probably pretty awkward, being as how I used to be someone you knew, and how I'm not exactly her anymore. So that's why we've got drinks, though.
Of course.
But how much do you trust me?
I do not understand the question.
Well, I'm not entirely Patricia anymore. I guess you could say I'm not entirely Maelie either. But being who I am right now, standing in front of you, we, in this form, have only met for, what, a few hours? How much do you trust me? Do you trust me based off of who Patricia was, or based off of what I've shown you in the past few hours, or something different?
I don't know. I trust you enough to be grateful that you have rescued myself and the other survivors. You bear the markings of my leader, my confidant. I don't think I can answer that question honestly. I suppose I trust you as much as you trust me.
Funny you should say that. I was going to say that. I trust you about as much as you trust me. Takes one sip. What are your goals when you get home, if you don't mind sharing?
I would like to see if my village still stands, and if my parents still live.
And, I forget, mostly because I can't remember, but was your home on Storvex or Arist?
It is Storvex.
Okay. Why did you want to go to Arist again?
It is the easiest way for us to gain access to the provisions that we will need to make the rest of our journey. Not all of us are from my same world. I wish to see all of the survivors return to their home.
Well, might be easier said than done now that new angel's told us we need upgrades to our ship. Looks like we might be going to Arist first.
Indeed. It is distressing news, but it is better than being dead. So I tried to keep it in perspective.
True. Man, all these questions are mighty difficult. She takes another sip of her drink. How much I'm assuming you're going to contact the Emperor after you find your family. How much are you going to tell him about my team, specifically? My new team, the team here on the Astral Harpy.
I do not intend to contact the Emperor. It is my hope that he will think that we perished along with the others on the Akorokanos.
Aha. So it's in our best interest to keep it quiet then.
That is preferred, yes.
I see. All right. Let me make a note of that. And she opens up her geology book from her robe
What
pocket
a fucking nerd.
and starts writing in the margins. Well, that's actually kind of a burden off of my shoulders because, well, I don't remember enough about Halos or being Rexon or being part of the Emperor's contingency, and I don't know how he'd feel about my current goal, but you heard everything out on the helm too. You understand why we've got to get to Folly and can't rightly be distracted.
Yes. I understand that you have a greater mission. I do not understand its intricacies. But if it's all the same, I wish to go home. As does many of the other survivors do as well.
And home will try to get you. I don't want to stand in the way of that.
Indeed.
If you've got a home to go back to, that's great. Did you want to know anything about myself?
As you have mentioned, you are not fully yourself, nor are you my confidant. You are not the captain.
Correct.
I suppose I would like to know who you have become.
Do you want to know how I came to be this way in the first place, or do you just want to know what happened after I, shall we say, woke up?
I shall take whatever information that you give to me, Captain.
It's funny you still call me that. I don't mind, don't worry about it, but it's kind of fun. Well, let's see. I grew up as Maelie Wildglen. Used to be a halfling. You might notice some of the features kind of carried over. And as it goes, when I died, I woke up in this body, I guess Patricia's body. But I didn't know it was hers because I couldn't remember, and neither could she. She had been dead for longer, is what I learned, and somehow hadn't rotted away. So, I guess that's good for me, bad for her. Wandered around for a bit, rather aimlessly. I was trying to make a better life for myself. Life where I grew up was hard. And I wasn't necessarily the person I wanted to be, so I was happy for this second chance, as it were. So I just kept doing magic and tried to be a better person. Not entirely certain I've succeeded at that, but I can only try. It's really anything anyone can do is try. When I found out that Patricia could talk to me a little bit, sometimes, like we fought Eyeless and she kind of showed up, like she did in the doorway when we found you. She has a way of just appearing sometimes in my memories and in my actions. She kind of told me a little bit about herself. I assumed it was because she finally trusted me enough, or I was just used to her body enough. And ever since then, I guess I've been trying to live up to her ideals as well. I wouldn't have wanted to do necessarily anything that gave her a bad name, but I don't feel I know her enough. Who were you to Patricia? And who was she? Can you tell me more about her?
Well, what do you want to know first, I suppose?
I know what was in the file that I read. She was a war hero decorated by the Emperor and the Taladani, and I guess in relatively good standing while she was alive. But what was she like as a person? Was she like me? Was she harder? Was she softer? Was she a good individual or ruthless? Like, just the basics, I guess, of how you describe a person.
She was an inspiration. Everything she did with passion, with competence, and focus. She did not lose herself in her work. She stayed aware of those around her, helping them achieve even greater feats that they knew themselves not possible of doing. She was a mentor. She is what I believe many would consider to be a hero, an example, an exemplar. She was also wistful. I would oftentimes catch the captain when there was not something pressing, gazing out at the stars. I would ask her what she was thinking about, and she would answer with the deeper philosophies. She was kind. And she was strong. I apologize. It is difficult to recount I thought her dead for so long.
She sounds like a good woman. I would love to know what you think of me, if I'm living up to her ideals like I had hoped or not. But if it's too hard, we can at least toast to her memory. And Maelie raises what's left of her glass.
Ensign Soma will raise her glass as well. That I will drink to.
Cheers, then.
She knocks back her whole whiskey like it's water.
Maelie pours another for both of them.
All right.
Well.
So you guys spend that time just getting drunk and getting to know each other.
Oh, yeah.
Get drunk, get tipsy. Hit me straight into a tizzy. What is Sera doing?
We're
looking
cleaning
at the-
off the bloods and guts on the table that she left.
We're
Oh.
looking at the
We're
two
also-
items, Shatterpoint and Empath Crystal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shatterpoint had a 24, a 12, and a 23. We haven't done the crystal yet.
Oh, Luka was looking at it specifically,
sorry.
so he picked it back up. So that's a 23 on him.
Which thing first?
Doesn't matter, you pick.
Okay, before we start that, I do apologize. I need to go to bed for work.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
It's okay.
Bye,
I mean,
Astra.
I don't mean to leave in the middle of the scenario, but I was trying my best to leave at a
You're
good
great.
stopping point.
Well,
So
we're
I
at the
apologize.
we're at the.
So,
I'll roll for you.
all right,
Do, like,
thank you.
these things.
All right, I'm off to bed. Good night, all.
Now you got it.
Bye. Sleep well.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess we'll start with the crystal. That's one of the things you're looking at, right?
Yep.
And what was it that you rolled?
23.
Luka's a 23.
A 23 on the empath crystal will reveal to you the following things. This is a casting implement meant to be embedded into one's head.
Ooh.
Specifically,
Oh.
it focuses on increasing the potency of enchantment spells.
Oh. Okay.
What are enchantment spells?
Charm person, compulsion, things like that.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, command, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, how would it get embedded into your head? Does it just absorb?
You call Seino and he just smashes into your forehead.
We have a scalpel.
Just like sit there, you just put it on the tiara or like
Hold
make
still for a
couple
sec.
stones out of it.
Amusingly, Sera looks disgusted at the thought of that.
Well, it's good for enchantments.
Enchantment.
But is this like a plus or like
Okay, what
Advantage.
it actually does is that whenever you implant it and you attune to it, it increases the DC of all enchantment spells that you cast by 2.
God damn.
oh? Oh,
I think the only one I have is suggestion.
I now have to look at my list of spells.
I don't think Sera. Is it like a permanent, like. I'm picturing like a Rexus type of thing.
It is until you're unattuned to it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
It's not
Pop it out of your
It's not
head?
surgically implanted.
Okay.
It does take the head slot though.
Do you just balance it on your head the whole time?
Good thing I'm not wearing anything. I can't attune that.
God, imagine wearing something on your head.
Alright.
Yes.
The only thing I have is like command, calm emotions, hold person. Actually, that's pretty good. Zone of truth, and that's it for what he can use. But maybe Maelie might have something? Or Irha? Looks at Irha, then realizes he's starry-eyed and not there.
I don't think it's a good item for him.
Well, I can just pass it on to them if they're interested. And he puts it back down. It looks at Shatter Point.
Shatter Point was the 24th.
Any increases? That's missing?
On the 24th?
Yeah.
I rolled a 17. The 4 plus 3. I don't think so. What could I be forgetting?
I'm just making sure because 24 ain't enough.
Okay. I think I'd have to use a consumable, but she would have to know that.
Maybe you should talk to the person that uses vessels.
Oh, excuse me.
What did Effie take from like that whole list?
Well, I'm waiting to identify the stuff that I took.
Oh, but what were they?
Yeah, I just
Assume
picked
the
shit out.
dagger.
I just
Yeah,
picked it out based on.
I was thinking, like, what else could we check out?
I looked at it. I was like, I don't know what that is.
I was taking the digital loot because that's all Effie. I was going to take the arcane vessel since she's the one that uses vessels.
Is that what it is?
Then,
I'm confused on just the word vessel because that applies to like everything. That's our bodies. That's our ship.
And then the Darkseer's dagger I took.
Vessel.
Oh, you're waiting for that.
Shatter Point's a gun.
Yep.
Oh.
If it looked like the clubs that Effie was carrying around, Sera wouldn't have taken it.
It's the clubs.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense now.
Okay, she'll just look at it on the table,
weapons.
not really understand what it is, and just recognize it as something that Effie had been carrying around.
Gun.
I'll just give it to Effie. She probably might be able to make sense of this.
Might be similar to her uterus blast.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
And if we can't use it, we can sell it.
That's true.
Sera will just leave it on the table.
What about these syringes? And did we check out the mana delve syringe and the indefatigable? I can't English anymore. Indefatigable duty syringe?
Indefatigable duty.
Indefatigable.
Is that supposed to be
God,
like
where's that
fatigue?
sleep?
Like you can't be defeated?
Indefatigable means that you are unable to make tired.
Oh, no exhaustion?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
And then the
Cool.
mana delve.
Give that to our boy, Seino.
Hold on, let me actually identify them for you. I was just telling you what the word indefatigable means. Healing syringe, healing potion, superior healing potion. Mana delve gives you. Let's see here. Mana delve restores 1 spell slot per spell level of casting.
Oh, that's good.
It's very good. And indefatigable duty. For 3 rounds, you cannot go to 0 hit points.
Oh my.
Oh.
Damn.
Wow.
That's good
nice.
for
Good.
Seino. That's really
Yeah.
good.
And if you can't be made tired, that means no exhaustion. Also, maybe.
It doesn't
Did I
actually
get that
prevent
right?
exhaustion.
Ah.
Its effect is
Yeah,
you cannot
it
go
did.
to 0 hit points. For 3 rounds.
God damn.
Oh, that's really good. Wait.
3
then-
rounds of Bazinga.
Can I identify the one thing that I took besides them taking the other thing that I was going to take?
No, Shatter Point's yours. If it looked like a gun,
Yeah.
Sera wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, but it's on the table and I'm doing some stuff up here, so
Alright.
So I'm assuming
Convalescence kit roll.
that. Oh. Unless Sera wants to try.
On what?
On the tool, but it
19
wouldn't
again.
matter. It wouldn't matter.
Alright, that's insufficient for Shatter Point for Darkseer's Dagger. Roll the next one.
Jesus.
Oh.
Dude, better take all the rest after this, please.
You need the vitamins and some strawberries.
The list of vitamins.
I don't know anyone who coughs like that. Are you coughing up organs?
The Oregon Trail.
Lung? No. Luka turns to Sera and gently touches the back of her hand just to grab her attention.
She'll make eyes at him again.
What are these eyes that you're making at him? Like, I just need to know.
It's like a curious combination of a pupilless green glowing eye that's like fluttering eyelash look.
Oh my god. That reminds me of my other character. Okay. There's something else that concerns me, and you can probably just tell from looking at me. And he gestures to himself. I am just a cleric again. And besides the worry that I have with Folly, I also have a worry of my aptitude to be able to deal with things if things go south. So, in a sense, I'm a little bit curious and would like to know if you're okay with the proposal of me just studying how you manipulate your power, your sources of power, and things like that. I'm studying to see what would work best for me.
She'll cock her head to the side in such a sudden manner. She looks almost like a snake studying a prey. You are concerned that you are not enough.
Not me being not enough. It's just my current state to deal with what we will be dealing with. I don't think that is sufficient. Yes, I could keep you guys alive maybe a little bit longer, but in terms of just dealing with Folly and any other things that we encounter on the way, I'm not sure if just healing can be enough. I'm pretty sure there's other things that I can look into or do.
She'll look thoughtful in crafting her response. Luka, and her movement will turn more into what a natural person looks like. I used to roam around conflicts with a cleric, someone quite like you, and her ability to balance the precipice of life and death is something that was very unique to her. And I have seen glimpses of it in you. I remember when the wave of negative chaotic energy came out of you. It's quite potent, Luka. Is it more that you do not understand the gifts that have been given to you by, well, I had assumed it was the gods, but you don't seem to be a believer, but the gifts that have been given to you that you pray for, or is it that you are not interested in having those anymore?
Well, I didn't exactly ask to be put in this position. I just woke up into it.
Were you not a cleric before? I was not a wizard before either.
No, I wasn't. I was actually an artificer.
That's quite different, isn't it?
Yes. I crafted things, I made things. I used to be adept with magic, but now, except for maybe a couple times, I've probably knew some things, but not as much anymore. So it's like being a fish out of water. It is confusing.
Well, I do know that it is possible to change one's body. Is that what you're interested in? Do you wish to be someone else?
He looks at his leg. A lot of things have changed about me. I'm no longer saddled with another entity.
She'll smile at him. A parasite.
Sure. Yes. And that has cost me my leg. But we roll through it.
Relying on his power is what cost you your leg, Luka. Each time you called upon him, he consumed a piece of your soul. And that is what you lost when you split with him.
I think any split with a soul or anything as strenuous as that would come as a cost.
Yes.
But in terms of changing who I am, I'm not sure changing this body. I'm just far more interested in seeing and knowing what else I can do. But if that cost is completely changing what I am, then that's not a possibility
there are other
that I can
methods.
ignore.
I was more interested in the root of why you feel you are less than. She'll ponder some more, and she'll think about what she would want to say next to Luka. Well, when we were on Dragonstar, you chose the path of the dragon. Is that something you would like to lean further into?
Perhaps. But I feel like there's more that I could learn from that. That's what I could choose once we were landed. I could not keep what I was before.
She'll gesture towards Irha. We have a dragon with us. He could be the best source of knowledge if we choose to land at Dragonstar. As for me, if you choose to go back on the path of evil, the path of corruption, that I can help you with.
I just wish to observe, if you don't mind me observing.
You've seen it. You've seen the cost of what I gave for what I have is pieces of my humanity. What lay before me are 3 distinct paths. One of, fully embracing the fiends and becoming one. That is what this vessel, that was her original path. She was a chosen of Babylon. The other path is also what this vessel was, which is Taladonic. Well, those two things are currently coexisting. My intuition is eventually I will have to choose. And of course, there's the third one, which, realizing there's no longer Ensign Soma around, I was part of a rebellion, Luka. I was not quite sure how this group felt about knowing that, as it was very clear, you all made it quite clear that a Taladani wizard was, you all were more accepting of my devilish part than you were of my Taladani. But my mentor was Valistane, and he is a clone of Taladon, and he wishes to usurp Taladon, which is my third path.
Personally, for me, I do not care where you align. I didn't care for Taladani or any of that, but this is all choices that you're making for yourself, right? Because the two options that you had were options from your vessel that they were following, and this rebellion you were part of, was that the choice for yourself?
No, it is what my group chose at the time. I went with them rather than being alone.
But what would you have done if you were able to choose for yourself?
I would have preferred to have stayed in the amphitheater and understood my lineage, who I was. From what I understand, my vessel belonged. I was a curator. I was a part of the amphitheater.
Luka cocks his head to the side, not sure what that word is. The amphitheater. And was that a theater, a place of entertainment?
It's a place
Suggested
of
by the
knowledge.
name. Oh.
And it was being overrun by entities that were enemies of knowledge, which by its very nature is the nemesis of the Taladani. We believe in knowledge above all else. Back to your original question. When it comes to corruption, you will have to meet a god. And I think that is your first step. The power I have was an exchange. And I still owe my due.
He nods. Well, that's one thing I will be avoiding. So, that angle, respectfully, I probably will not go.
And I do not think corruption and fiends is the angle you would like, because there is a deity that oversees it.
He nods at that.
There is, however, I distinctly remember, she'll tap the side of her head, and then she'll lean forward a little bit to stare right into Luka's eyes. There's an entity, a deity, that said he would be in your head. Have you heard from Owen?
Oh no. I haven't even attempted to contact him once. Actually, I don't know if he's still in there. He just does like that little silly thing when you knock on your head, like, hello, anyone in there? Sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about? He does that, but he
Here
imagines
gives him
like,
a creepy smile that looks like all-knowing. If I know anything about deities, he is there.
oh, lovely. Another thing that's just sitting there inside my head. Watching.
The dream
But
is
if
certainly
anything.
something you could align with. They're guardians of the dream.
Perhaps.
But you
But-
are not really on the best foot with Woad.
No, which was what I was going to say. He may have shifted my perspective on that idea. So the fact that his brother is in my head does not bode well with me. Potentially. I'm not sure if he's in there.
What's the, it's not anarchist, it's not apathy. What's the word for people who don't believe in gods?
Agnostic.
Agnostic, thank you. I'm not quite clear how agnostic cleric works, Luka. Perhaps the angle you should explore. Where do your prayers come from, if not from the gods?
Well, the thing is that the many times that I have prayed, it wasn't, not many, but few times that I have prayed to the god, it wasn't at specifically any god. And this isn't saying from the past, this is actually recently. I have prayed twice, actually. When we were on the scattered remains of that ship to help for Maelie's cause.
I also remember you came in contact with an entity on Dragonstar. I believe you refer to yourself as a conduit. What is keeping you from communing with the greater powers? What are you afraid of?
Luka sits back, heavy on his chair. And he looks up to the ceiling for a couple of moments before he sits back up and looks at his hands. It isn't the fear that gets me with these greater entities. It's more of, how do I explain this? I understand that each god has something that they stand for, and they're a representation of elements that exist. Well, this is speaking from the knowledge and things that I have picked up from stories and people speaking, and even as much as the things that Effie say. But anyway, gods hold a lot of agency over powers that can exist in this world, or do exist. And because if you pray to them a certain way, or say certain things a certain way, do not posture in front of them in their greatness, do not fear them in certain ways of respect that they so deserve or believe they are due, it does not sit well with me. I don't exactly follow how they, I guess, simpler terms, throw around their weight. Yet they depend on us to have the agency and control, or supposed control, that they do in our worlds. And in some ways, I like to think of them as kind of like us, but of course far greater. And then at times it's like looking at a child that just flaunts their power and their tantrum once you have insulted them once, or they just view as something smaller and not deeming anything that can be worthy of just their audience. I have a hard time following their god logic. And how can I follow something that is so flimsy, so fragile, so conditional for power, wealth, standing? And he sits back down, like a little bit more relaxed. I tend to follow the things of a surety. That's why I leaned on magic when I was an alchemist. Well, not alchemist, excuse me. But you know what I mean. Followed the mana, followed the small sciences, followed the medicine. That was something that could be calculated, measured, assured, most times. But a god, if I don't pray strong enough, may not hear the message that I want them to hear. I don't feel confident in that weak connection. And I can't feel confident in that power that I have borrowed from them. Do you understand?
I do. What I find puzzling is what you have described as the Taladani viewpoint.
He smiles, probably weighing his head side by side. That was something that did interest me at a time about the Taladani, but at the time I didn't know too much about them, but obviously we're learning more and more as we go by.
Do you know what your vessel was?
Well, he was Chaoton. Before me. Well, before I inhabited it. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to learn more about that, but that's all I know.
Cyril will frown at that. The way the Shade Council described it is that Chaoton had found a mortal that he could coexist with. She'll crank her head to the side again. More like a bird this time. Are you sure your previous vessel was Chaoton himself? It would not follow logically.
That's all I know.
Cool. Sera's gonna do a check. Does she recognize anything about Luka? She's also gonna lean on Moto a little bit too.
Negative.
I don't recognize any of the signs that you could belong to my order. But I don't believe you were Chaoton before. When he separated from you, he looked quite different. I think Chaoton made a deal with who you were before.
Well, maybe there might be some records about who this, and he gestures to himself, was.
Do you know the name?
No idea.
We are in the same boat. I do not know my lineage either.
But we are here.
Does that interest you in your pursuit of growth?
If it leads to more, then of course. I would like to know who I was, or who this was. Maybe it'll give some answers. There may be something I can look into.
When we are on Dragonstar again, the Assessor might be the best place to start.
He nods at that.
Someone who can read your fate.
Then, hopefully if we have time, if they still allow us, we can try to go for the Assessor. Ask him what he sees.
She'll give him a winning smile. I am quite keen on pursuits of power. This pursuit of social endeavors, I'm not all that useful. I would be happy to help you.
I would appreciate it. And he reaches over and squeezes her hand, if she allows her, or him, to do that.
She'll
As a
squeeze
friend.
back in a crushing way.
Oh god, strength, please?
Let me roll my wizard strength real quick.
Oh god, 16. That's pretty good, that's pretty good.
Oh shit, a 13? That's actually, I thought it'd be like
Good,
2.
that's pretty good.
She's not doing it to intimidate him. She's doing it as just like, she's a fucking weirdo.
No. He knows, he knows.
And as you are squeezing each other's hands, I put the dagger in there some time ago for you, Effie. If you wanna
Oh,
read it
what's
off
the
the
dagger
chat.
say?
Yeah, I would like to try and identify a few other things.
Sure.
Does anyone else have anything else to do? Unless Sera has anything more to add to this conversation.
Oh, do we have anything else in the notes? Let me go look.
I have something small, but we can do that after the identification.
Do we have time? Sorry, I'm like looking.
No, there's
Well,
nothing else in the notes. That was all Effie stuff. Excuse me, there's nothing else that Sera wanted to look at.
All
She's
right.
good. She's ready to blow up people.
All right.
Yep, look at Stu.
What did you want to identify, Effie?
I would like to talk to Akana Chorus about the arcane vessel.
To identify it for you?
Yeah, to see if there's any archives on what this might be.
Shatterpoint is an arcane vessel, most likely constructed within its armory bases, so I was able to find it and cross-reference it. So it will make the he identifies it for you, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
My womb encasement.
What about it?
It specifically says, hold on, let me get the exact verbiage.
Oh no.
Verbatim.
Okay. It says selective breeding and the ability to reconstitute DNA to bear children of normally unavailable races and to produce subhumans.
What
I
about
would like to specifically research the word DNA, since that is very a foreign concept to Effie.
So, hold on, let me get all that ready. So DNA stands for Dinaria Nominal Assessment, which is the high factotum and transitioner of the Rexus Federation is known as Dinaria. It is the scientist essentially that allowed a lot of the Rexus Federation technology to supersede its opponents and rivals. The nominal assessment is essentially the reading of one's essence to determine not only what makes up that essence, but also what essence it may become, specifically through its bloodline. It's the fantasy equivalent of what DNA is. That's what it is.
So, in order to make this happen, like if I wanted to use the womb casing,
Yeah.
like how is it identified if something is viable? Like,
so there's two pieces to this. The first is that the womb casing allows you to bear children of races that are normally not mixable with the human race, allowing the creation of new subspecies. And specifically, that is the point, is that you would seek out strong opponents or strong genetic material and recreate a form of humanity out of it in order to further the greatness of the Rexus Federation. This also serves as a soft form of power that if there's an opponent that the Emperor, for whatever reason, would rather not crush through military might, they can, over several generations, breed them out and replace the population.
well, I guess the question I'm getting at is the term DNA doesn't specifically refer to like intercourse, right?
Are you asking me how do you bear children through it?
Yeah,
Okay, so there's the good old-fashioned way,
right.
but some creatures would not have the appropriate genitals in order to portray that. So in that case, you can supplant a creature's essence within yourself using the womb casing in order to produce a subhuman progeny from it.
Are you saying I can shove this masterwork black essence into her womb?
Well,
Oh my
it has to
God.
be an organic piece of material. You can't, like, put metal in there. That doesn't do anything.
Okay, so can't put a soul in there.
But let's
I
say,
didn't
for
say that.
instance,
Oh,
I said it
So
has to be
masterwork black essence.
I said it has to be organic. I cannot answer the question on that because that is an experiment.
Okay.
so how do I know what's a viable thing? Like, let's say, for instance, there's a dragon, right?
Yeah.
Is just ripping off a scale or like a piece of their nail, like how?
Ripping off an essence is only required whenever the creature does not possess the appropriate genitals. Dragons, specifically being of the type of creature that has shape-shifting qualities, means that they have changeable essence that is actually already applicable with many different individuals. So therefore, you could not take a dragon scale and implant it because the dragon itself possesses the shape-shifting essence and quality of its genitals, meaning that it could be produced otherwise. The production of essence implanting into yourself is only available to a creature that is normally not breedable due to its genitalia. So, for example, if you ran into a creature that does not produce
An
sexually,
ooze?
like asexually, yeah, if you ran into a creature that produces asexually, you would have to use essence to implant that into yourself because you cannot.
Those grubs that you got?
because you cannot have sex with it. But if you meet a creature that you could conceivably have sex with, you have to do it that way. That's how the casing is designed.
You could have
So I
Leviathan
can't-
babies.
Okay.
Is there a greater question you're trying to ask me?
No.
Okay.
And then I guess the last thing to identify is this. Well, actually, there's a couple of things. Number one, the Negatia scimitar.
It's made out of Negatia, which is an anti-magic substance. Negatia
What'd
in
it
and of
do?
itself, whenever it's designed as a weapon, any sort of magical defense that it is portrayed against bypasses it due to the purity and quality of the Negatia. This is a tier 2 quality, so that means that it will defeat any spell defense of 2nd level or lower. And depending on whether or not its Negatia can be manipulated through class features, can even lead to greater results. But base-wise, it ignores magical defenses and has an automatic dispel effect of 2nd level spells or lower.
Okay. And then the Engineer Omni tool.
This is just an Omni tool that acts as a...
We have one of those.
Yeah, that's just an Omni tool. It's a wrench. The super
Okay.
wrench.
Super wrench. All right, then I think
Use
that
it to
that's.
fix the ship.
I
Use
think
that
that
storm.
that's.
Alright.
What?
I'm gonna have Sera go be rude if you're set.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Oh, alrighty, go ahead. We are at time, by the way.
Yeah, my
okay.
thing is just rip. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we like 44 minutes over time, so...
I thought we
Oh,
extended
Jesus.
today.
Aren't we doing the extended?
We are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we said last time.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
It's what you told us 2 weeks ago.
Oh, alright, that's fine, then keep going. Apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only done.
She'll, after her hand squeezing, not competition, get up, sashay down this corridor. She's on a mission. Do-do-do-do, da-da-da-da-da. She has remembered something very important. She'll come up here and she'll knock on the door. Loudly, but politely.
Alright, how many drinks
Wow.
have we had? Let's figure it out.
At least one.
I'm gonna go with...
At least 2. You refilled.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Oh, three's fine.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to move you.
Oh,
Wee!
that looks more like 6.
Oh my god, she turned incorporeal.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'll say to Soma, hold that thought. Come in.
Sera, look at this door handle. Try to figure out if it's a push or a pull. She tries to push. Doesn't open.
It's a pull.
She'll scowl at the door for making her look like an idiot. She'll open it. She'd always just... Missy stepped inside. Maelie. Oh. Oh, hello, Soma. Maelie, I
Howdy,
remembered
Sera.
something very important.
Nod.
Okay. What's that?
She looks nervous saying this in front of Soma.
Is this the thing we needed to talk about earlier that you didn't want to talk about in public?
No, but she'll just say it bluntly. I want to teach you how to shield yourself.
Oh. Okay. I'd like that.
Sera doesn't like admitting weakness in front of a unknown. Would you like me to teach you now or later? She looks very excited.
Well, actually, I was hoping that Soma could be here to teach me a little bit of something too, just in case. See, I've got this brooch, right? It was some star metal that I found when I woke up, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I made it into a brooch to keep it with me easier. I know it does something magical. I can feel it, but I haven't had a lot of success figuring out what it does or tune into it or any of those things. I think I've only like barely scratched the surface.
All 250 pounds of Sera will waddle in, squeeze next to Soma. She'll go over here. Can I look at it?
Yeah. So basically, as I hand the brooch to Sera, I lean over and I look back at Soma. I was wondering if it was like something I'm not remembering about being a fading star. If it's something I need to learn again. If there's anything you could teach me, you know, when Sera teaches me to shield, something that would make a little bit of sense to how I do magic.
I'll do what I can to remind you, I suppose.
She'll
Much
hold it up to
obliged.
Soma to see if she recognizes it.
You hold what up to Soma?
The brooch, Maelie's brooch. After looking at it.
She definitely seems to recognize it. This is the captain's brooch.
Ah. Great.
What was Maelie a captain of? Well, Patricia.
She was an Astro Mage captain. She was in service to the Emperor.
We saw her record had commendations from both the Taladani and the Rexus Federation. What was the joint initiative?
She will look at Maelie and then look back, and then she will say, I am not sure I can speak on that subject, as the captain was not very forthcoming. Whatever it was big. Enough so that two great forces combined their efforts to do so. All I can tell you that it occurred at the Void Fields.
A mystery even to you.
Sera will hand the brooch back. Does a 20 tell her anything?
No.
It looks normal to me, Maelie.
It's got something in it. I can feel it. It's special. I just don't know how to unlock it, but that's fine.
Sera will then, in her excitement, is Maelie in the middle?
Yeah, I'm just sitting on the edge of the bed.
She'll climb in like a creeper, like a
Okay.
creeper plant, and just and get her all 250 pounds of herself into this bed next to Maelie. She'll whip out her spellbook, and she looks ready to just dive right in.
Maelie pulls out a geology textbook.
Sera pauses and looks at it. What? Is that your spellbook?
I lost my spellbook when Effie teleported us to... Yes, never mind. Just yes.
You lost? What?
This is my new one. Don't worry about it. Just... This is what I have now.
Sera looks appalled.
Are you writing your spells in a textbook on geology?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the only book I had with me when we got teleported to the aperture because my spell book was still in the spider house.
That's hilarious.
So I've been rewriting my spells kind of like in the corners, in the margins. Love notes to Irha, you know,
Chapter
other
1,
things.
Deciduous Rocks. Shield spell.
Yeah, basically.
That's hilarious.
Sera looks at Maelie with a look of like heart-aching sympathy, and then she'll upend her double backpacks, which include empty sketchbooks, fan fiction from the Ardent Amphitheater, quite a few romances. Would you like one of these? They aren't enhanced, but you're not competing for room.
Oh, well, maybe. I guess if I've got the time to transfer them all over again, or if I end up losing this one in some freak accident.
She'll perk up. I would help you. Would you let me see how your astral magic works?
Maybe so.
Sorry.
And she'll point at one of her sketchbooks that has... What would the design be that she'd pick out for Maelie? That has a cornucopia of a flower arrangement on the front of it. Some trees in the background. I'm particularly fond of this one.
You'd give me the one you're fond of?
It suits you.
Well, thank you.
Right. She'll flip to page 17. Shield! She'll sit there and she'll teach. Specifically, she's actually going to teach Maelie all of her defensive spells, because she's quite worried about after the train situation. She wants Maelie to be able to protect herself better.
Cool. Maelie will sit there and for now, she will write it in the flowers and trees sketchbook. Kind of like the first spell that she's learning in her new book. She'll make sure to copy all the others over later.
I'll send you a list in the notes channel of what Sera would teach you.
Nice. She'll ask Soma, any of these have a special meaning to Fate and Stars, perhaps?
She'll look at your geology book.
Granite.
Oh.
Ooh, lapis
Shale.
lazuli.
Volcanic rock. She'll point out, I think it is odd that you don't write with her hand. Your handwriting looks different.
Well, probably because I learned how to write as a halfling. I don't know. But you recognize my voice? What exactly in me do you recognize of Patricia? Because the angel recognized me too.
It's strange. It's as if I can see a shadow of her. A whisper. An echo. If I close my eyes, I can almost feel her in the room.
Well, I'm awful big on trusting shadows and believing in them, so for the most part. Only one shadow so far has let me down.
What shadow is that?
I would rather not say his name, just in case. Nothing you need to worry about.
All right.
Here just smiles to herself, having a theory confirmed. I think there's something Seino wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Go back to
Yeah,
Seino.
just something quick.
Where are you?
I'm in my room on the left, pondering my orb.
Huh.
Ponder
Bro, you
the
got-
orb this whole time.
What's your orb say, bro?
Pondering. Seino will ponder his orb and will ask Kanakoris to get information on what environment Junior, the screamy mushroom, needs to, I guess, be like taken care of, or like be comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, you guys totally forgot you had 3 plants.
I was to say I knew we had 3 plants.
I didn't
but
forget at
I
all.
was only presented 2, so I was like,
No,
oh.
yeah, I didn't forget at all. Seino was just not with us. He didn't join us. My garden gnome.
I didn't know you guys were up to that, and then you already talking about it, so I didn't join.
Rainzz,
You guys didn't call for Seino over the loudspeaker, knowing that he had a plant and would like to be part of the Arbiter Club. How sad! You intentionally left him out. You intentionally left him out.
Luka didn't know. He doesn't know how many plants you guys picked up.
Sera feels an unconscious, overwhelming amount of guilt, and she'll use sending to tell Seino that he's invited exclusively to the Arbiter Club.
Alright, so anyway, let's talk about your screaming weed.
That headbutted me.
Let's see here. It needs fresh soil. It needs blood and salt water.
Huh. Well, I got one of these.
Sera has lots of blood.
Does Seino know that?
Probably not. We'd have to have a conversation
I mean,
in our Arbiters Club.
if you think about it, Seino also has a lot of blood.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing I have.
Hey,
I have Effie's old and new blood.
Oh, God.
Oh wait, now we have fertilizer from the guts.
I still have vials of mayhem blood. Ooh.
Oh.
Seino after
Let's
getting
grow
that
a Fate Eater, you guys.
Oh my god.
Seino after getting that information will just put Junior on the table where he sleeps.
You named him Junior. Okay.
I didn't name him.
I
Sera named him Junior. I was not giving naming rights.
What were their names again? Let's see.
It was Spike, Maple, and Junior.
No, hold on. Spike is the cactus.
Werewolf. Yeah, the werewolf
Luka
cacti.
has that one.
And you
Right
named what was the other one?
Sera's got Maple, the Quarg.
Saris.
Saris. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the screaming one is
Junior.
Junior.
Oh God. All right. So let's make sure.
Which one are we gonna put in the skull, you guys?
Canada.
Yeah.
I would say Junior.
You think Junior goes in the skull?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, vitamins. That
Needs
bone marrow.
blood.
Put me in the skull.
Wait, is he talking to me?
No. No, he's not. Don't worry.
Okay. Seino will put Junior down on the night table, and he will just he will cut his thumb and give him some blood, because that's the only thing he has.
So it's just going.
Oh my gosh. Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, I will. You will
Feed
say,
me, Seymour.
I will see that you have.
Suddenly say no.
Yeah, and he will like give him blood and then like pet him.
Oh, good. Yes.
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 Pet him with your bloody hand.
Pet the leechweed, please.
Exactly.
Put your hand in there.
Yeah. Nah, he's fine.
The fact that
I got enough blood in this tiny body.
I would not have to rewrite Suddenly Seymour into Suddenly Seino.
And
dude, he should duet with Sera. That would be so funny, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We'd understand.
In his unconscious mind, he will feel a slight sadness that he got left out of the.
No.
Stop it!
Are you saying his little hat droops downward?
Oh no!
He will pet Junior, and like one tear is going down in his beard.
No.
Feed me, Seino.
I will.
Does he drink
It's the
his
start of
tear?
Seino's villain arc is because Sera left him out.
He did not get the invite to the
That's what I-
Urban Club.
All along, how to empower him.
The garden gnome is no more.
He truly becomes a red cap.
Yeah,
Yes.
he will grow a army out of juniors, and he will he will take over the universe.
The end of the world will be written
Who
in
needs wound
universe
casings when you
screaming
have plants?
Sings to me.
I have a very important question. Do we know if the quirk snot will just spread everywhere?
Of course we don't know that.
You do not know.
Okay, we don't know that. Okay.
Well, you do not know what the. No.
What Maple will do?
You don't know what sorry is going to do.
Oh
This is what I have as the description.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
What component Junior provided for the potion? Like, I don't remember it actually. I'm
think
sure
he
it's in notes
does
somewhere.
like strength augmentations or like.
Was he
his-
the strength one?
I
Yeah,
believe
it's
he
all
was.
in notes. It's all in notes. If you
Mhm.
control find.
Control find notes.
Yep.
Scroll up to infinity.
Leech weed.
Mm-hmm.
The properties of mana draining. Well, I got nothing,
Oh.
so
Oh, never
there you go.
Wait, what was spike? Hold on.
Control find.
Control find. Hold on.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do before we let Arcadum get some rest between sessions?
Is
Um,
Maelie able to cast fiend spells? Can I teach her waves of blood?
Negative.
Okay. Delete that from my list. Okay, it's in notes.
Am I able to add these notes, the spells to my list?
As
Like,
long as they're not
sitting
fiend
there-
spells. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all traditional 5e.
And then Arcadum, how long would it take for either Akana Chorus or Soma to teach Effie Rexon?
Just the trip to Rampart. Like,
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna have it before it becomes relevant.
Okay, cool.
Question:
Yeah.
Can I also learn Rexon?
Yeah.
Cool. I will sit in on those classes if you don't mind, Effie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, they're all. I hope you're ready to be taught by Flip Switch.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my god, I love him. He's one of my favorites.
What's
I
the
hate
difference of Rexon and Helios?
Halos.
Halos. Halos is common.
Oh.
Rexian is the language of nobility.
Oh yes.
So Maelie wasn't a nerd.
Yes, posh.
Interesting.
I
Alright.
did actually, that was one question, but I don't want to do it because Arcadum is sick and he needs to rest. I will
Yes.
wait. I will be patient.
Okay.
No, I have one more. No, I'm
Wait,
wait.
Oh. I also have one small thing, but don't worry about it. I can wait.
We'll just
yeah.
bombard you when you come back next week and be
Ooh,
like,
yeah,
I have
exactly.
questions.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Another 4 hours.
2024?
4 hours of RP.
Oh my God.
We love it.
It'll be
It's on brand.
January 6th.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'll see you guys next year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Aw.
Happy New Year.
It looks like we have
Happy
some.
New Year, everyone.
You have some fan art.
Ooh, we
Ooh.
have fan art. How fun.
Ooh.
I like fan art.
We do like fan art. That's...
My God. Okay. That's
Are you
that's-
sick with a cold? It's like a cold.
Well, that's fine.
No, of course not.
You guys think I'm a monster?
Runs to the bathroom.
Oh.
That's
She's literally pulling out guts in front of him.
Oh my gosh, look at us.
Yeah.
You have your feet up. Aw, toesies.
I
Look
would
at
not
those
have my boots on the
drippers.
bed, that's for sure.
You literally performed surgery.
Okay,
I
that's
love
different,
it.
all right. That's different, right? Controlled
You guys
focus.
think I'm a
Pulls
monster?
out viscera from skull. Okay. Mentally was not prepared for that.
All right. Alrighty, chat room. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. I'll see you guys in 45 minutes.
Oh, go rest. Lay down.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.